Hey everyone, welcome to Snarf Talk with Chris.
And Jerry.
And this is our podcast where we give you a behind-the-scenes look as we create a comic book.
We're going to talk about TV, movies, comic books, and hopefully have a lot of guests, other writers, creators, and friends.
Check us out at snarfcomics.com. You can check out our blog and follow along with everything we got going on. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Snarf Comics. And please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes.
Enjoy the episode. Snarf Talk in the house.
We're back. The late night recording sesh.
Yeah, back to the late night session.
All because Jerry just doesn't care about other people's time.
Right. No, I don't. I have no regard for other people. The world. This is a little bit of news. We're going to jump right in the news. The world revolves around me.
Yeah.
So
it's a Jerry world. All Jerry, all the time.
And I'm a Jerry girl, you know?
I see a little bit of a special guest over there.
Yeah.
Long time since you've been on the podcast.
It's been a bit, I'd say.
Yeah. It's been a minute, as they say in California.
They do say that in Cali.
In California.
Oh, California.
Yeah. We got
Have you ever, real quick, have you ever seen that skit on Saturday Night Live, the Californians?
Everybody's seen that.
That's so great.
Everybody's seen that.
It's so funny. I hope everyone's seen it because it's really good.
The Californians. No, that's one of my favorite SNL bits of all time.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead, introduce them.
We got Nate with us.
Howdy.
A.K.A. Pagoda.
Pagoda, my man.
A.K.A.
Back in the house.
Young Nathan.
A.K.A. Beard Guy.
Where have you been?
I have it back.
Because you have not been on the show for 6 months.
Working.
Ages.
If I'm not working, I'm farming. So, yeah.
Working at a farm.
If I'm not working, I'm twerking. Right?
That
you like
too.
to twerk?
Yes.
I like to rap.
I'm very, very just interested in what you're drinking over there.
Oh, it's a Modelo Chelada.
Chelada.
He stole it out of my fridge.
So that's
yeah, because I bought it.
He also bought it and put it in my fridge.
That's beer and tomato juice.
Little bit of other stuff.
That's disgusting.
It's actually really good.
No, it's not.
It's very healthy, too.
Have you had a Chelada?
Yeah, it's not good.
Then why did you ask what he was drinking? If you knew
Well, I've
what it
never
was?
had a Modelo.
Oh, it's good.
Well, that's your problem. If you get the Bud Light one,
Yeah.
absolute garbage.
Well, I don't
buy it.
like tomato juice. Does that hurt my chances of enjoying it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It does. Quite
Because
a bit.
that's
Very
why
much.
I think they're disgusting.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. The first time I had one was, I don't know, we were cooking s'mores out on the fire
Yeah.
on a random night, and you had one.
A couple months ago.
See, I thought that was just specifically reserved to be a morning thing.
Yeah, everybody tells me that, but yeah, I don't listen.
Nate drinks like Bloody Marys 24/7.
Yeah.
He walks around.
If I can.
He walks around with a Bloody Mary and a cup
Like one of
all
those
the time.
camelback things
weird.
full of Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's what he does. Literally walks around with a camelback with a hose right to his face.
Man,
Bloody Marys are more
things
my
had
winter
a,
drink.
had a high burn, like they rose
It was
faster than
It's
fast.
from the military.
And then they just kind of disappeared.
Because when we joined, it was like a big deal. You better have your camelback.
Yeah.
Sure death without your camelback.
Now you never hear about them anymore.
No.
You never even see them in Walmart
No.
or anything. I'm
And
sure
it
they
was
have
like
them, but
it was like a hot ticket item in the army too, because like if you didn't turn that crap back into supply, you didn't have to turn them into supply.
It was part of TA 50, yeah.
And if you didn't turn it back in, they were charging you like a buttload of money for that thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
$150.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And at the time, we were like, man, I really wanted to keep that thing, but I had to turn it in because I wasn't going to give up that $150.
Yeah, kind of like whenever you said you were going to keep your FR rated clothing.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this. Yeah, $500. Nope. I'm turning it
you
in.
can have that back. It's not that important.
So speaking of tomato juice,
Oh, right. Back on the topic of the
why is it? And I
fruit
know,
juice.
listen, people, I know that this is like a trope, and I know other comedians have talked about it, but that doesn't change the fact that I still don't understand why. When I say other comedians, I'm including myself.
Oh, yeah, and me. Probably.
Absolutely.
Why do people only drink tomato juice on airplanes?
What?
You ever notice that?
Yeah, no, a lot of people do.
The only time I've ever seen anybody drink tomato juice that's not a Bloody Mary or a Chelada.
Okay. You tried to be a little ethnic there. It didn't work. It didn't come across.
Came across my,
I don't think
that's
it
the
did.
only time I've ever seen anybody order or drink a tomato juice.
Oh, no. My grandparents, my Grandma June and Grandpa Rick, he was at the house tonight.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They
They
would
cracked
drink
open a tomato juice?
They would drink it all the
like out
time.
of a can?
Every night. V8.
V8 is not tomato juice.
Yes,
it's
it
made out
is.
of eight vegetables.
Yep.
V8.
Boom.
But they
Got
also
carrots
have
in it. It's sweeter.
No, V8 originated as just tomato juice, though.
No, the whole name is V8. Vegetable
Well, what's the
juice.
original then?
Campbell's tomato juice. Same company. They can it.
And then the little cans?
You would
Yes.
probably have that.
Well, then I'm just wrong saying it's V8. They 100% would drink tomato juice all the time.
Well,
In the
anyway,
evening.
outside of your grandparents, I've never seen another human being do it.
Well, you've never seen my grandparents do it either.
Well,
So
you're making this really difficult. Why is it that people always get on airplanes?
I don't
Always.
know. I really don't know.
Maybe
Tell
they
me a
have
time you've
hangovers.
been on an airplane that somebody in your vicinity hasn't ordered a tomato juice.
Yeah.
Because it happens every time.
It must be a thing with frequent flyers.
Yeah.
Does
It's
it
annoying.
calm the
Every time
nerves?
it happens, it pisses me off to like the maximum extent. I can be sitting there and like getting ready to go on a Caribbean vacation.
I'm gonna
and just
take this
totally
freaking
chill,
plane
and then-
down.
And then the person in front of me is like, I think I don't have a tomato juice, please, on ice. And I just want to fucking get up and punch that human being right in their human being
Chris
face.
gets up and says, "If anybody orders a tomato juice, I am taking this plane down.
I will take it down.
I don't know why that bothers you so much, but you are right. A lot of people do drink
What's your
it.
plan?
And they always
Crashing this plane.
they don't. Hey, watch it. We're being monitored. I'm sure.
Speaking of planes, you know, stewardesses, like, more than 50% of the time they give me the full can instead of just the cup with the ice. And I never see them give it to anybody else.
Right.
And I never ask for it.
Oh, you've just got that.
I got that big, that
got
guy's
that
a
look.
big fat guy and he needs
No.
this full can.
No,
he's
you've
just
got
gonna-
that. Like
He's gonna slam it anyway, so we're not gonna give him a.
You've got
glass
that
with ice.
super alcoholic face.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, man, this guy's got nowhere to go anytime soon.
I was
you
just
know?
talking about like a Diet Coke. But
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like whole cans of
yeah.
beer.
I think they always give you a whole can
like
of beer.
big bottles of schnapps. Because I know you
Schnapps.
you
I was
like
on
to
a
hit
plane
them
once with one of
schnapps.
our friends, mutual friends, Mr. Jim Bilmer.
Oh, Jim Bilmer. Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite.
And he actually got cut off.
Really?
Yeah.
Will they
The
do that on
stewardess
planes?
came up and said, "This is an airplane, not a bar." That's enough.
Really? But
Ouch.
I'm paying you for it.
Well,
Yeah.
Was it good? I mean, was he needed to be cut off?
no, I mean, he was fine. They completely ran out of whiskey and then ran out of scotch
Oh,
because it was all drank. So then he turned to me to order for him.
yeah.
And they caught on to that game real quick.
Real quick.
Real
Because apparently would
I
they
was
be
staying sober because we were landing in Mexico on the other side of this journey, really not knowing where we were going, and we needed to get a taxi. So somebody needed to be sober.
right in order to do that? Would they be called steward-eye or stewardess?
We are not doing this again.
Have we done this before?
Well, between
Stewardesses.
stewardesses and buttling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we did do the whole butlers buttling.
No,
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I threw that one at the coworkers the other day, and
So
they were
can I
like,
say
no.
steward-eye?
Yeah,
You
If
can say
if
it,
you
it's
wanna-
just not going
yeah.
to make you sound intelligent.
No. Well, okay, I won't say it then. I guess I won't say it then. The look you just gave me about that, I felt
No.
it in my soul. My gosh. So what else is new, Nate?
Yeah, what have you been up to? You haven't been around. You've been farming. You've been working.
Farming.
What else?
farming.
That's it.
Yeah, prevent plant.
Well, then you haven't really been doing that much farming.
No, yeah, right. I mean, you haven't planted anything if it's
No,
prevent plant.
I mean, if you play the game of planting tough grass,
Oh, you're doing cover crops and stuff.
yes, we are
Teff.
doing.
We talked about teff on this.
Yeah, we did.
podcast. They
And I missed.
They
Damn it.
They make in Ethiopia. They have this bread made out of teff called injera,
Yeah.
and it's an unleavened bread.
Right. Okay.
It's like whatever the thing he kept trying to tell me it was.
Non.
He kept telling me it was
Oh,
naan.
yeah, naan.
But it
is.
isn't. It's injera. No, because naan is not made from teff.
I know, but non-bread, I think, is an overall term that says it's unleavened.
Okay.
Right, yes.
Well, teff is it's like switchgrass kind of, isn't it? Or it's kind of it's in the grass family, right?
Yes.
Or
yes.
or like
Because, we were torn between teff grass and Sudan grass. And
Sudan.
since we have...
But Sudan's problematic though, because you can get if you lose control of that, you got some problems, right?
I didn't look into it. That's all.
I don't know the details here. I could be
Yeah.
100% wrong. I thought that Sudan grass was becoming like a tricky weed to. Maybe I'm wrong.
It was also longer. We wanted to keep that grow period short so we can essentially go at the end of
Are you going to bale it and sell it?
September 1st.
September 1st. You're going to sell it, or you're going to use it? Do you have livestock?
You can. Yes, we have livestock.
Okay.
Which that was the other thing was that Sudan grass is a little bit more fibrous. So since we have some equine livestock, it would be a little bit harder for them to deal with. So teff grass grows faster, and
Teff's
should be able to hit that.
It's supposed to be like a miracle plant. It's good stuff.
A miracle plant, how so? Like medically or?
No. It's just like as far as like feeding people. It's very
You're talking like that,
fast-growing
almost like a golden wheat.
Yeah.
What they had back then.
Except it does, yeah. Except in the golden wheat, the one that like cures blindness.
Not quite. It's just that it grows in better in drought-stricken areas.
Okay, I just think it
it's
grows
more,
in like a wide range of environments. And
Yeah,
it's
and it
very
has
aggressive and-
very aggressive.
I was just talking about this too to Tim, the other Tim. What?
Gilmer, McDonald.
No, McDonald. That's what they're doing, planting teff grass
Oh, really?
all over. Yep.
That's cool.
I didn't know. Like, so is that you can sell that? Do you
Yeah,
bale
they
it?
changed
Not-
the law.
Not legally.
Yes, you can. They changed it. So originally, how
For
it was
prevented plant?
Yeah, for
or
prevented plant, originally you can plant a cover, but you could not
sell it.
sell it until after November 1st,
November,
which made
yeah.
it worthless.
Okay.
And then they came back, and I guess enough people complained that they're like, all right, we're gonna change it to September 1st. So now I think it's September 1st.
So it's possible to do
For
something
sure.
with that.
And then they came back and they said, oh, okay, no. Now you can plant corn and you can sell it for silage. It's this whole thing.
Yeah, because
Which is kind of annoying to some people that went out there and like beat it into the ground.
right, yeah. Which that's what that's what one of the neighbors he had said was that you could he went there and he beat on his equipment, threw everything in the ground that he could, and he's like, if I don't get a return on this as opposed to preventive plan, he's like, I am never buying insurance.
Well, I mean, it just depends on what insurance he's got, what kind of coverage and stuff, and I don't know. There were some pretty good returns on prevent plans, so
Yeah, I
depending
would think
on your-
that he would still be he'd still be miles ahead of people that did prevent plan because I think the market it's going to respond at some point.
I don't know. We'll see. That
Yeah.
could easily not be the case though. Prevent plant corn could be paying pretty well depending on your average and your insurance coverage level. So we'll see.
And there's your grass.
There's the farm report.
There's your grass report. Fellows.
The farming report is brought in.
Speaking of equine, though, you mentioned equine.
Don't remind me.
I am. That's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to the Arlington races, the racetrack on Saturday.
Oh yeah, going up to
for the old horsey
gonna
races.
bet on the ponies.
Yeah,
huh?
and the bet the lineups came out today, so I need to figure out which horse I'm going to bet on.
What are you gonna? Do you just go up to the track and like mill around?
I don't know. They have a beer tasting and a whiskey tasting
Oh,
and
nice.
horse racing, and we're spending the night in a hotel. It's like a whole thing. So,
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Pretty exciting.
I do like that.
I've never done it. I've been to the OTB.
Yeah, I've been to the OTB too, but just watching it like on TV, like seeing the atmosphere, looks
Really?
fun.
Everybody that I know that's gone to the Arlington racetrack, because I have a buddy that lived right around the corner from there for years. They just say it's awesome. So
Really?
Yeah.
Even Arlington? Like, is it big?
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Oh, I've never been.
It's like a real racetrack. It's like a big deal.
Oh, well, no, I understand that, but I just didn't know how big it was. Like if it was.
Well,
worth
I'm going to pull up here while we
the
talk
time.
about our move on. I'm going to pull up the list of horsies.
Okay.
We're going to
And then we
decide
can
on.
pick.
Yeah, we're going to decide who I
That's
should.
a good idea.
Actually, I got them pulled up right here. So, I told you before I would only bet on comic book related named horses,
Yeah.
but I don't know that there are
There's
any.
like
so,
none.
Race 1, we got Polly Warcry.
Oof.
Lavern's Lass, Ms. Mere, Kenye Cool, The Thirsty Cowgirl, Lady Express, My Little Spitfire, and The Brilliant One. Race 2, we got, well, so that's race 1. So out of those, who do you think I should do?
What was the first one?
Polly Warcry.
I like that one.
Hey, and Polly off of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just says Warcry. I think
Yeah, that's
really
that's
cool.
clearly the
Yeah.
best one.
Is it?
Yeah. Race 2, we got Fort Commander, Nobody Move, Regal Kitten, Revolt, Joey B, and the Maligator.
Oh man, that hanger on
Yeah.
the
I like
alligator.
I like Regal Kitten.
I kind of like Nobody Move
Nobody move. Boring.
or Joey B.
Joey B. That dude. He's hiding some things.
I think everybody's going to vote on the Maligator because it's a cool name. But
Joey B's got some secrets.
yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
Joey
yeah.
B. Race 3, we got Mr. Haney.
Oh.
Timing is
Wait,
everything.
Mr. Haney, wasn't he the teacher?
That was
in,
Mr. Hanky.
No, the teacher in Boy Meets World.
Oh, no, that was, what was his name?
Boy Meets World.
Which one? The old teacher or the young
Hanley?
teacher?
The old teacher.
Mr.
Was he a principal or a teacher?
No, he was a teacher in Boy Meets World. Yeah, he was a
That was
teacher.
Mr. Haney.
No, it was not. Like that was his
think
next one,
that-
Mr. Feeney.
Mr.
Feeney,
Feeney.
yes.
I was damn close.
What a good show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great show.
Have you ever seen Girl Meets World?
No.
I refuse.
I don't think it's good. What was the other teacher's name? Mr. Turner.
See, he was a nobody.
I was a big fan of Topanga Lawrence.
Oh,
Or was
Topanga?
that her name?
Who
Topanga.
wasn't?
Yeah, Topanga Lawrence. Yeah, had a bit of a crush on her.
Everybody did.
Yeah, right. Everybody did. It's true.
But getting back to the more important things,
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Balter, Smokey Romac, Fleetway, and Santa Americana. That's in the race 3.
Smokey what?
Romac.
Roma. That's the dude.
Oh my God, there's so many races. I can't do all these. I'm just gonna pick out interesting names. Okay.
Smokey Womack.
Superman's cape.
Oh well,
Boom.
he has to win.
Done. Winner there.
We got. If there was a Star Wars based one, that'd be great. Maximus, Colonel Fred. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a decent.
I don't
And
know.
they called
I
him
think I'm going to
Fred.
put all my money on Superman's cape.
No, all of it, 100% of
Even though
your
I'm not a
money
huge Superman
should go.
fan.
Just
You know,
everything
I'm
goes
not
on
either. Do you
Superman's
feel like? Do you feel like that's an issue? Do you feel like you're like, I don't know, not
Like
not a credible comic book fan saying that you don't necessarily enjoy Superman books?
Well, I
Because
will.
I'm
maybe-
completely on board with that. I don't.
I think it makes
read
us more credible because it would be one thing if we'd sit here and say, just give everything lip service. However, I haven't really read a lot of the good, so-called good Superman stuff.
I haven't either.
So I did like my main exposure was the Christopher Reeves movies and
Yeah.
then
Right,
the
yeah.
Dean Cain,
All the movies
Lois
and
and
whatnot.
Clark
Yeah,
show.
Lois and Clark. Yeah.
Oh, and I loved
Yeah.
that show. I watched that show all
I didn't
the time.
even
Oh,
really
so
like, and
good.
then the animated movies.
Yeah. So the only real exposure, like the most exposure I've had to him in the actual comic book world was a Doomsday Clock.
Okay.
DC was doing the run Doomsday Clock. I think it's still going. I don't even think the last issue's out yet. And I haven't read all of it. I've read the first 5 issues, but he was in that somewhat prominently.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I liked the art a lot, and he was really cool. But it still doesn't pull me in to want to read any of the stories. Maybe Grant Morrison's run, That's about it.
The All-Star Superman.
Yeah.
I've read that, but years and years and years ago, and I don't think I ever finished it. I need to go back and read it. Everybody says it's one of the greatest runs
Right.
of comics of all time.
Right.
I do heavily remember, like, I think it was a Super Nintendo game, Death of Superman, where you could be like a bunch of different Supermans.
Well, I remember when we
Really?
were deployed, Nate. That's when Superman died.
Yes. Oh, you were devastated.
It did bother me a lot.
Yeah.
It really did.
Knock on the door, and Jerry's
again,
just like,
I didn't read
talk.
Superman, but I was like,
It's amazing to
Like,
me that you
what can they
both
do?
got out of the military without either one of you having a Superman tattoo.
why would I?
I don't have a
isn't that
single one.
common tattoo that people get.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I did get is a big Uncle Sam,
It's too scary.
a big Uncle Sam,
we're coming for you.
and a Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
So I got-
that one's pretty cool.
I like this one a lot, but and I like that one too. But
That's pretty cool.
Did Beatles get you one over there? Or no,
no, I never got one from him.
he owes you one.
I actually
He drew me a comic book cover
I
for my
joked
birthday.
because I was joking with you, but I really think the Uncle Sam one's cool because it looks like
so bad.
but that makes it kind of cool, right? If it was like if it was like a perfectly drawn photorealistic one, it wouldn't be as cool of a
It'd be
story.
like, yeah, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
props to the artist, but I don't know.
I mean, props to that artist. He had a vision.
yeah.
Did he ever? Or did he have vision? Is the question. Because
I still think it's a cooler story. It's cooler to have something like that than like, I don't know, something that's like perfect. Although, if I ever got a tattoo, this guy that I'm going to, it's the guy that I'm going to the Arlington racetrack. It's his 30th birthday. Alex, you know Alex. He has this artist. I don't know where he is. Joliet, maybe. And he has a full sleeve that he got done over the last couple of years. And it's all Ghostbusters.
really,
And it is like I can't. This guy is so good.
wow,
It's like photorealistic. All the characters.
that's cool.
Nice.
He's got all the individual characters and then
Yeah,
some
that's
ghosts,
cool.
and they're like shooting or trapping a ghost. It's
Yeah.
really cool. And then I
Crossing
asked him, I'm like,
streams? Is there any crossing streams?
Never cross the streams.
I wonder.
I
if
think they are on there.
They have to. That's how they win.
And I asked him one time, I'm like, so you're like a huge Ghostbuster fan? He's like, yeah, I like it.
What?
I like it just enough to
Actually,
throw it in my skin.
He
So-
he won the Snarf Madness.
He did.
Yes, I think he is a fan, but I think it was more like he wanted a cool theme to like do the whole thing as a theme.
Oh,
I just think it's one of the coolest tattoos. I like full sleeves. I don't think I'd have the guts to get one myself.
right.
but
I definitely don't have the guts to do it, but I like him. I do like him a lot too.
I would go
never
to
do
that
it.
artist though. That was my point. That artist is
I'm just wondering if I could find an artist that could maybe touch this guy up over here.
No,
and
don't.
make him a little
you
more
might as well just
realistic.
Wait another 20 years, maybe we'll see where it lands. But
have the artist turn Uncle Sam's face into Trump's face, and then just
Oh my gosh!
yes,
Do you know how many fights that would get me in?
make America great again underneath.
nobody ever see it.
No,
Gerald.
actually, nobody even. A lot of people don't even know I have tattoos because you could never see them, and that was a strategic thing. Like I didn't want them past my shirt line, my sleeves.
I didn't really know you had them for a long time.
Yeah,
You remember Ray Maker from over in Iowa?
Yeah.
She had like 10 tattoos.
yeah, hidden all over the place.
Yeah, you could never see them, even
She
in
was all
PT uniform.
She was all pierced up too.
Oh yeah, she was.
Sneaky tattoos.
She had sneaky piercings.
Yeah,
and
she did.
Like down her spine, though. She had
Yeah,
some
she had the corset.
straight down her spine.
Is this a person that was in the military with you?
Yeah, and yeah.
Do women and men shower together?
No.
This ain't Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm based.
Good pull.
That is a super good pull because I must have rewinded and fast forwarded and played that part of that movie a million
I
times.
think everybody did. I remember my mom let me rent that movie. We had it on VHS, and she didn't think anything. I'm like, it's just a bunch of guys fighting bugs.
I think that's what everybody did.
It's just-
Everybody's
And I was
mom.
like,
bugs.
oh my gosh.
You know what's crazy though is like back in the 80s or early 90s, but we were watching 80s movies on VHS. Like I'd go over to my buddy Victor's house and we'd watch stuff constantly. And like every movie had nudity in it. Like PG-13 movies,
Dude,
like
yeah.
every movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I don't remember that.
And like we'd watch, I know we were obsessed with like all the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Sure.
Stuff like that. A lot of them said
Kickboxer.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport,
Bloodsport,
Time
yep.
Cop.
Yep.
A lot of those had nudity in them, just like every movie had nudity in it at some point.
Which one was the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he was? I think it's Bloodsport, or the what was the other one? The Kickboxer.
Yeah, Kickboxer.
Where he was on those chairs, and he like put his feet on the chairs and spread the chairs out.
That was Time Cop, wasn't it?
And he was like,
man,
basically fully
Did the
spread
splits.
out.
Yeah. He did the Jean-Claude
I'm pretty
full split.
Pretty sure that was Time Cop.
Was it Time Cop?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that
What is
like,
the
so
one
vividly.
that it still haunts me in my dreams? I think it's Bloodsport, but they're in like a fight in a ring.
Yeah.
And the one guy's on the ground.
He gets his leg broke.
No.
Oh.
And the guy's head is on the ground, and the other guy stomps on it, and
Yeah,
you just see it go,
Bloodsport.
Yes.
and then blood just goes out.
That's definitely Bloodsport.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's like
he
the
was-
bad guy
That like haunts me.
that
Yeah.
he fought at the end because he originally broke his leg.
I had
one
definitely
that-
never seen anything like that before in my life.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's
one
bad.
that blind. He tucked that like powder in his arm, and then he was able to blind him or something, or
In
he threw
his-
it at him.
Isn't that called a gi?
Don't know.
Like what you wear? You know.
What?
You've got a Karate Kid.
Yeah, well, a gi is like the outfit you wear. in
Right.
Karate
That's what I
or
mean.
in
So like
Taekwondo or something.
in the
Yeah, he had a powder that he threw at his Jean-Claude's
in the gi
eyes
sleeve.
and blinded him, and then he went back to his training where he had a blindfold on and he had to fight his master.
that's
with it.
right.
Yeah.
I thought he broke his leg.
I'm
Or
like
am
a-
I'm
I'm a
thinking
big
of
fan of kung fu and fighting movies. They don't do enough anymore. But I did see the other day they're rebooting.
you used to be big kung
Dude,
fu
you
guy.
never
Oh,
watched Ip Man?
Oh yeah, I have seen that one.
Oh man, all the
I
whole
love-
Ip Man series.
I
is
love like
good.
Chinese, like all
Crouching
those movies.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, House of Flying Daggers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ip Man. There's a couple other ones. But there's a lot more other ones. But I got
tons.
like 2 or 3 more the other day on Amazon that I haven't opened. The Curse of something or other. Anyway, but even those like 80s, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, those type of movies. But anyway, they're rebooting. I saw the other day they're rebooting the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh, I love Mortal Kombat so much.
Wait,
Like
like
the movies?
For
Yes.
film?
Yeah, for film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
They just cast
Interesting.
Sub-Zero. And I said who it was. I didn't know who it was though.
Oh, okay. But my favorite was
If only
always
they'd
Scorpion.
reboot Street Fighter.
Street Fighter
Oh,
would be
man.
awesome too. What was
Go back and watch that movie.
Dude.
It's rough.
What was the
But
green
either
guy?
way, the concepts.
But
the
see,
concepts
those
there.
are the movies I used to watch all the time as
too.
a
That's
kid,
what I'm saying,
and they
that
were
kind of
so
stuff.
great to me.
Loved it.
It was the same as like going back and watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again. Like it's so cheesy, you know.
I was
But
such a
watching
fan
it-
of like Johnny Cage from like the Mortal Kombat
Yes.
movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so great. Sonya Blade was a badass. They all were. Like all of those movies were so good. And I remember Street Fighter, and they had the green guy. What's the green guy's name?
Blanca.
Blanca. He was
Yeah.
in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it.
He was like a mutant. Like,
Yeah.
He was like in a cage.
So cool.
Did you ever watch Kung Fu Hustle?
I did.
man.
I have not.
That is in my top 10.
I love that movie.
Kung Fu Hustle is in my top 10.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
No, I've watched. What's the other really ridiculous one?
There's a bunch of them. But
Kung Fu Hustle, they dubbed over.
Kung Pao.
Kung Pao.
Oh,
yeah.
Enter the Fist. Yeah.
Yeah. That one I've seen a lot, and I
that
thought that
one-
was hilarious.
Yes. It was like Looney Tunes met a.
Yeah, his tongue talks. He's got that like mouth on his tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a really
ridiculous.
good one. I'm gonna try and find out what it's called. There's a good one. One of my friends from college sent me the other day. By the other day, I mean quite a while ago. And it was this ridiculous one. It's on Netflix. It was a Netflix original, and it was like made to look like it was in the 80s, and it was like a kung fu one.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Is he fighting? He's fighting Hitler. He's got to go back in time. He's got
Maybe.
Hacker Man hacks him back in time.
Really?
Yes, it was big on Reddit. Like
I did not see
6
this.
years ago.
Oh, so
6.
it's old.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Iron Fury.
So,
Oh, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Ah, dang.
oh yeah. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Hacker Man gets
yeah.
him back in time.
I
Yeah.
did see that on Reddit, and it looked ridiculous, but it was a big deal. People liked it a lot.
They
It was
threw
like-
money at it like you wouldn't believe.
But you said something earlier, Chris, just a few minutes ago, and you said you did something on Amazon. You know,
Oh yeah.
You know, it was a big week this week for Amazon.
It was a big week.
You know why?
Why's that?
Prime Day.
Ooh.
Amazon Prime Day
Stayed
was
away
this
from
last
it.
week. You did?
I had to.
How
Yeah.
can you?
Because
It's just such a draw. It's like I didn't even realize it was the day until
get the notification.
I didn't either until you notified me
I did.
midday. I was blissfully unaware that it was going on. I'm on Amazon every day, and I somehow just missed it.
That's unbelievable that you even. I'm
could have
so
skated-
surprised that you missed it
I
out
could
of
have
all the
skated
Amazon
through
people.
the entire thing, and then you brought it to my attention, which led to me ultimately spending thousands of freaking dollars. Not thousands, but
I didn't spend that much.
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. So the reason I was pulled into it is because it's a really strange story. So I go in. I guess it's not that strange, but it's just a coincidence. So the night before, Amy and I were like sweeping the floor and like vacuuming, and I told her, I said, "This is bullcrap." I said, "We're getting a Roomba. I want to get a Roomba. I want to get one of them vacuums that does the work for me
But you
because we
didn't-
have so much hard floor."
But
And
you didn't reach out to me for a recommendation since I have recently purchased a Roomba.
and which one did you get?
I got the. I'd have to look up what model it was. It was like $500.
Okay, so the 890 probably.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, that's the exact one that I
Oh, okay.
have.
I have no issues with that one. I've liked it. It's great. The one thing, which is with all of them,
Yeah,
is the bin fills up kind of fast.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
we also have a big dog.
right.
So that's part of the reason.
And I don't.
The more expensive one, which is like $900, and I don't know how much it was on Prime Day.
$1,000.
But that one docks and has a thing that sucks out the.
Yeah, the S7 or I7.
Kind of wish we would have bought that, but then again, to spend an extra $500 for that seems
That's
ridiculous.
a lot. That's a lot. And
That
they've
was
got
the main difference.
They've
And
got like an S9 now too.
Better battery, but-
anyway, so that night, the night before, it would have been Sunday night. We're talking about this thing, and she's like, "Yeah, we've got a Best Buy gift card." She's like, "We could check it out, use the rest of that gift card for that." It's like, "Oh, all right." So I look it up. There's like $270 left on this gift card because it was originally $400 because we returned a microwave and I wanted my money back, and they gave us a gift card for it. Well, then, so I'm researching and looking at Roombas and different robot vacuums all night. And then Monday morning comes around, and I was like, "I'm buying one today. I'm getting on Best Buy. I'm buying one today." And no joke, I just pull up Best Buy, and then Rayanne, Tim's wife, sends me a message, and she's like, a text, and she's like, "Hey, didn't know if you were still in the market. I know you were talking about buying one of these earlier, but really good deals on Roombas today." And I look at the message, and it's, I click on it, Amazon Prime. They knocked down, she sent me the 690, so they have a Roomba 690. And then I looked at the 890, and they brought it down from like $486 to $299.
Oh my god!
And I was like,
way
whoa.
overpaid.
I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
no
my
kidding.
gosh!" I'm like, "What the heck?" I was like, "But I got this Best Buy gift card." So then I Google it, and Amazon has a service where they will transfer any gift card that you have to an Amazon gift card for $5.
Are you kidding
What?
me?
They take $5 off your card, and then they will they email you a code for an Amazon gift card. So I got the Amazon gift card thing emailed to me on Monday, and I went in there. Like I said, I had like $270, so it was like $265, and I ended up paying $30 for a brand new 890 Roomba
Boom.
on
Done.
Prime Day.
Yep.
I was so excited,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's going to be life changing.
and we got it today.
Mine is the 960.
Oh, you one up me again, Chris?
960.
You're always one upping me.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
I think I went with that one because it was ideal for pet hair.
Oh yeah. So and
yeah.
I originally was going to go with the 690, and then I saw the 890, and that was the first model that they have the rubber rollers underneath instead of the actual brushes.
yeah, the brush rollers.
the bristle brushes.
Mine has the rubber too.
And they say the rubbers are way better because they're tangle free.
It's amazing
Right.
how much
Yeah.
they pick up.
I was running it tonight, and when I first pulled the bin off,
It's sickening, isn't it?
it's unbelievable what is on that thing.
You know what another great thing about
What's
this
inside
is
the
like
thing?
ours will go under our bed,
Oh, does it?
which it'll
it'll fit under my bed
There's
too.
a full dog worth of hair down there,
Yeah, like literally.
and it never gets clean. Yeah, and it won't get under everything. Like it won't get under our dressers and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about actually blocking our dressers up a little
just
so
to
that
get
it will.
under it.
Oh yeah.
But it goes under the bed, which is great. The problem I've had is there's a couple places in my house, like underneath the kitchen counters, where it'll get stuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Like
If it's the right, that's how
it gets
moms-
stuck, and there's
Yeah.
there's like huge scratches all over the top of
Yeah.
mine from getting stuck under stuff. And then once it gets stuck, and then it like wedged itself like
It,
up at a 90-degree
it
angle.
tries to back out.
I'm
like,
telling you, these things
until
got
the
some
battery-
power, man.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't feel like there's really anywhere it could get stuck, but it could be caught up a little bit in
Your
certain
cabinets
places.
are high enough off the ground, I think.
Yeah, there's a
It
big
should
enough lip
clear.
under there. It's like
Yeah.
4 inches.
Romeo will be fine.
But yeah, we named him Romeo. But yeah, I already know it's going to be one of the best purchases ever. So also on that day though, that I haven't fully set up yet because I was having a little bit of an issue. I got the Fire Sticks, Amazon Fire Sticks, but because they had those as $10.99 earlier in the day, and then later in the day they changed it and put it as $14.99. But I got them at $10.99.
So wow, that's cheap.
Yeah, 2 Fire Sticks, $10.99. Unbelievable. And then they had that Fire TV Recast,
Yeah.
Fire Recast TV. So it's just a DVR, basically. It's a digital video recorder. It will record your TV, but it'll do it off of your antenna. So I got rid of satellite a while ago, and I've got just a regular, HD antenna. So I get 2579 and all the in-between channels. And this will record shows for you. And the only thing I've missed is the fact that I can't record things.
Right.
From getting rid of
Yeah,
the
'cause
satellite,
we were like talking about American Idol a bunch, and you're like, I can
Yeah.
never see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because those shows come on at like 6, 7, even 8 o'clock. All the boys are still awake. We're still doing the whole nighttime routine.
Well, especially like an American
It's-
Idol, which is from like 7 till 10.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
And you're like, well, I'm not going to sit here and watch it. And like 90% of it's commercials.
Yeah, and it's impossible to do
Yeah.
right now in this stage of life with the way the children are. Even if we had everything done, or I just ignored them and tried to sit down, they're so loud, and you just can't pay attention to any of it. So the only time you can really watch anything is if after they're asleep or if they're not home. And if I had a DVR, I could do that. Now, turns out I've got a 2 terabyte DVR that will record 300 hours of HD
It's awesome.
video. Yes. So that was another purchase that I got.
Right.
And I'm super excited about. But I got it today, hooked it up. I'm using the app, and it was like trying to do something with the app, and it was not doing it correctly.
You'll get
So
it figured out.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
It's brand new, so there might be some bugs.
Right.
It might need some updates and stuff.
I'm not sure what it was. It was looking for a channel list, which should be readily available, seeing as how I've plugged the coax cable into it, and that's basically the only thing you need to do. They say you need to buy an antenna for it because majority of people don't have old school antennas next to their house.
It'll work fine.
Yeah.
But I do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I ended up getting, even though I have the Roomba, we have like a regular vacuum, but ours is super old. Like we have an old Dyson, but not like one of the good ones, like one of the cheap ones.
Yeah.
And it never works, ever. So I ended up buying a new Dyson, one of them ball ones. They were like half off.
Yeah.
I had a Dyson ball for a while, and it worked really well, but
Long time. I remember that one.
yeah. We got it on my
The old house, too.
for my wedding.
Yeah.
I think we got the original Dyson ball. It worked,
Yep.
and it was for like animal hair and stuff.
That's the one I got.
Amy was so excited.
It was so great. It worked really, really well for a long time, and then it just kind of got old. And we were having it repaired by a certified Dyson repair shop, and it kind of worked, but it just really went downhill after a couple times getting it repaired.
Yeah, they just don't work forever.
and it doesn't.
That's
yeah.
how my old one is. I mean, they just don't last forever.
We've got a
had it
Shark.
for like 8 years.
We've got a Shark now, and it's got some like incredible suction, but the bristles run so fast it'll throw things around on the hardwood. You can turn them off, but I don't know. I'm still not 100% satisfied on how they do on hardwood.
So I bought that because it was like $250, and they're normally like $600.
Yeah.
And then
Good idea.
I bought this Wi-Fi thing that is Amazon owns now. They're called Arrow. There's one like Google
Okay.
has their version called like Google Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But Amazon has their own. They bought this company,
'Cause
and it's like a Wi-Fi mesh network.
Yes, I was looking at those in the other house before we moved
Yeah.
into the new one because I couldn't get internet through the house.
So it comes with the base, and then you just plug them in various spots around your house,
And it basically
makes the whole house covered.
It's basically
half
like
of
an
my house I
amplifier.
can't get Wi-Fi in.
Because it's like an amplifier for the
Right.
signal throughout your house.
Kind of, but they're like a different technology that's better than the old repeaters.
Okay.
So like I used to have in one of my old houses like on a repeater, so you
Yeah.
plug it into the wall, and then I've even had ones that are called power line. So you'll plug it into your router and you plug it into the wall with a cord, and then it'll actually run Wi-Fi through your electrical wires.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Those
Yep.
never seem to work very well.
No,
So
they don't.
We'll try this one. And then I got Saga. Saga was on sale, the trades.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really kind of made me mad.
These
though.
are the things that you need to text me about.
Well, it kind of made me mad because I needed
Right.
I need 7, 8, and 9.
Right.
But they were all on Prime Day at different times.
Oh, yeah.
So I got
that's how they get you.
so I got 7, and then I kept going back to find 8. I find 8, and I couldn't get it. And then
Probably already was up.
And then like an hour later, I see on Facebook it's like Saga 8's up on Prime Day, and I went, and by that time it was sold out.
Oh, man.
That's aggravating, and that is how they get you.
bought
Like they force
every
you to
time.
pay attention to all of it.
I bought 2 other things. These new nifty headphones,
Yeah, I like those headphones,
which are just the same as yours, but a little bit better.
but a slightly better.
because I can't be outdone.
Exactly.
And at my last minute, like at the end of Prime Day,
Yeah.
like just throwing it up into the hoop, was a really fancy toothbrush.
Oh, Sonicare.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Sonicare toothbrush, huh?
Yeah, they were like way cheaper. So I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I wonder how. Did you get it yet?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say, how does it feel?
I don't
Does
know.
it feel like sonic waves
I don't know.
chiseling at your teeth?
I was really mad because so both of our kids' iPads are garbage.
Yeah, mine kids
Like
are getting
the one
really
of them
bad, too.
is in a case, but the entire front screen, which I replaced, but never glued back on.
Oh.
So it's like not even really on, but it's in a case, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
home button doesn't work and the power button doesn't work. Nothing works. And then
Oh.
Cash is like randomly glitches out and does crazy things. And they were on sale, iPads, just a standard Wi-Fi.
Yep.
128 gig Wi-Fi ones were on sale for $299, or 32 gig ones for $250.
Did you get them?
No, because
Oh.
that's a lot of money.
It is.
And,
Yeah.
and I told Marley, I'm like, we should get 2 of these now. And she's like, well, if we do, we have to keep them till Christmas because we're not just going to give
Oh
the kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
We're just
give
not
them
going to
new.
give them iPads.
You
in the middle
can't
of
do
the
that
year.
with kids. No, you can't.
And I'm like, well, we're not going to spend $600 and just sit on them till Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I didn't
Yeah.
do it.
So speaking of, like, we were talking about the Dyson, and we got it at my wedding, like for a
Right.
wedding shower.
Yeah.
I think my mother-in-law bought it for our wedding.
Sounds about right.
Big moment in my marriage
Yeah.
tomorrow.
What's
10-year anniversary.
Ooh. What's that one? Like wood?
I don't know. I think it is like paper.
Well, I
It's
said
like wood or paper, I thought.
I said pearl.
Or is it, I'm going to say it's tin.
No, it's got to be some like silver.
No,
It's
no,
not
no, no.
silver. Silver's like 25.
Yeah.
Tin or aluminum?
I thought so.
Oh, jeez.
I had looked it up.
If you need aluminum, I got a bunch of like.
So give her a 12-pack of Busch Light.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to like have them empty cans and then just sew them all together in like a wreath.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
baby.
then hang it from your car.
Yeah.
You're kind of going on an anniversary trip then this weekend.
A little bit, that's what we were originally trying to figure out, is us just going away on our own, just my wife and I. But I'm terrible at planning things, and so is my wife, and so we decided against that. But we are going to go with all of the children and head on down to St. Louis. They got a bunch of stuff in St. Louis.
So
And we're staying 4 days. Well, like we're leaving
3.
Thursday morning and then going to be there in the afternoon. And because I got to mow before we go, I have to. Otherwise, I'm going to have Gary get the hay bine out and cut her all down. With
chop
the hay
her up.
bine, yeah. So I'm going to do that in the morning, but then we'll leave. We'll probably get there mid-afternoon and hit up the town.
that'd be sweet. I got
It will be fun. I'm excited about it.
2 weeks from now. We're going out of town for my anniversary, and I think it's a milestone. I think it's our 5-year anniversary, but I'm not sure.
I mean, what do you mean you're not sure?
Yeah.
Were you married in 2014?
I don't know. Remember what year we got married?
Oh my gosh, this is recorded. This is
Right?
like going in history right now.
No, I think
This
I think it's
is-
a 5-year.
You haven't even reached 5 years yet, and you don't know when you got married.
It's a 5-year. It's a 5-year. I also don't have a wedding ring, so
You don't?
no.
What do you mean you don't?
I just don't have one.
It's a farmer thing, Gerald.
No, you could like almost every farmer has one. They're just always like sitting on the dresser or
I
somewhere else.
had one that I lost on our honeymoon, and I just never bothered to replace it.
You lost it on the honeymoon.
Yeah.
I lost mine on this is okay, so here's a real quick thing. Any man that's listening to this right now, or boy, whatever, in the future, if you get married or if you are married, don't do what I'm about to tell you I did. So went on a canoe trip. Amy was working afternoons at the time at the hospital, so she couldn't go and she couldn't get off. I went on a canoe trip with like Leslie, Raj. I think Tim was there. Seed and Top. A lot of people. All right. Went on the canoe trip over from Dayton to like, it was on the Fox Lake. You know, I don't remember where we ended up, but we did the 12-mile one. Huge mistake. Should have done the shorter one because we only got about 6 miles when we were all like done. We're like, we need to get off this water. And then we tried to figure out where we were at. And we're like, crap, we've got 6 miles left to go. So me and Seed and Top were like paddling like crazy to get back as quickly as we could. Anyway, throughout that day, I had originally taken my wedding ring off in Raj's truck. And I left it in a little baggie, and it was in a backpack with me. And Leslie's rifling through my stuff. Not really uncommon of her to do. And she picks up this bag and she sees my wedding ring in it. And she like was acting like she was throwing it out of the window. And I got uncomfortable. So I took it from her and then I just put the ring back on. Well, then I never put it back in the bag, and we get there, get our canoes. Like I'm rearing to go. We get everything set up. We're out. And, you know, after about an hour, about an hour, everybody's getting pretty shitty, and our canoes are tipping constantly. Canoes are tipping. Well, during the process of canoes tipping over, I lost my wedding ring. It fell off somewhere along with a flip-flop that disappeared too. So I have a flip-flop and a wedding ring lost in the Fox River. And then I was young enough and dumb at the time that when I got home, I didn't, because Amy like prefaced this trip with, don't lose your wedding ring. Leave it home. She's like, leave your wedding ring home. She told me this before I went. So then when I get home, I'm an idiot and I didn't have it on. And she's like, oh, is your wedding ring in the bedroom? I was like, yep. Yeah, it's on my dresser. And then like 3 days later, she's like, why are you still not wearing your wedding ring? Because I always wore it. I had it on all the time. I still do. I wear it all the time.
Yeah, you do.
And I was like, it's just sitting on the dresser. And so she's like, well, go get it. So I go in there. I was like, I don't know. Where did it go? It's not on my dresser. And I just played it off as if it disappeared in the house.
Amy, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Did you take it? Did you hide it?
Where did you put it?
Is it in the sock drawer? I know it.
I played it off as if, and then she called me on it, and she's like, you lost it on the canoe trip. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And I lied about it for a while. And then it was like, I was like a month, at least a month afterwards. And we went to taco night in Kinsman at the Kinsman bar. Still a big thing at the time.
Good tan.
And we were sitting there. Leslie's across the table. And I brought my hand. I'm eating. And I bring my left hand up, eating a taco. And Leslie reaches across and grabs my hand. And she's like, oh, I forgot about your wedding ring. And Amy's sitting next to me, and she like whacks me right away, just backhands me just across the table. She's like, I knew you lost it on that trip. And I was like, yeah. Sorry about that. So anyway, long way of saying, don't lie to your wife about losing your wedding ring when she calls you on it originally, and you're an idiot for saying that stuff. Whatever.
I mean, my wedding ring was not long for this world because like I cannot wear rings or watches. It just it feels weird.
Yeah.
So I would always be taking it off and screwing with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to it, but somewhere it got lost.
So you're basically not legally wed.
Well, I don't know.
No, you have to have the ring.
Last year,
Yeah.
Marley got me one of those like rubber ones
Yeah.
for our anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I lost that one right away too.
Oh my gosh. I love watches. My watch recently died on me. Like my watch I wear every day recently died on me. The old Timex Expedition that I've worn forever.
Oh man, the old Timex.
Yeah. And
Jeez.
it died on me. So I haven't been wearing one, and I don't have this ridiculous tan line on my wrist like I normally do. But I'm like fiending for another watch, and I want one real bad. That's a Bertucci. It's a Bertucci T2 field watch. Looks amazing. Got a nice olive drab strap.
You know,
you
I
can
like
change
the
the
OD.
straps out, but it's like $119.
Oh, I have an Apple Watch and I freaking love it, but I never wear it.
See, I would destroy an Apple Watch.
I don't know.
away.
They're really tough.
Yeah, I don't want one
Yeah.
of those though. I want like an actual watch with a Swiss
I don't
movement.
know. It's pretty nice. I can start my truck from it.
I don't care about that. How often do you need to start your truck from your watch?
I've done it a couple times.
Oh,
Yeah,
just wait.
right.
Yeah, winter lasted until April.
Well,
this
that's
year,
true.
Drew.
That's true. It did, and then we went into swamp season.
Yeah.
That's Chris's fault.
Then
that's-
straight into heavy summer.
Yeah.
Just
It
full
did.
heat.
So that's
Oh, yeah.
Prime Day. Did you buy anything on Prime Day?
Oh, I abstained very hard.
Did you follow the Prime Day strike? That was the big thing.
No.
There was a strike
Oh,
for
big
Prime
deal.
Day. Why?
Yeah, big deal. And anytime
Oh,
anybody put
yeah,
anything
it's-
about Prime Day on Facebook, everybody on there would give them shit and be like, "You're supposed to be striking." Yeah,
Really?
yeah, like
They want to. They want to unionize really hard.
Oh, let's talk about stupid people. Can we talk about stupid
Yeah,
people
for
real
sure. I
quick?
love
Like
stupid.
really stupid people
Stupid or just people that
are stupid.
don't know better?
I think you know what I'm going to bring up then.
Maybe.
The whole storming Area 51
Oh
thing.
my God!
What
I
is
can't
that?
wait.
What is that about?
I don't-
Oh, dude.
No, I don't know. Like I've seen stuff about it, and I have no idea what
So-
it's
There
about.
are so many memes. It's
Well, okay, the
It's-
basis
it's
of it.
perfect.
The basis of it is that there's a bunch of like alien hunters and other people that want to know what's in there.
Conspiracy
Yeah,
theorists.
conspiracy theorists and whatnot. And somebody had posted a joke about I think it was on Facebook actually, which is rare because most things don't start on Facebook anymore.
ever.
But a guy posted on Facebook like as a joke, like let's just storm
Storm.
Area 51 and we'll find out. And then it just blew up from there. Like literally blew up from there. And people were still taking it as a joke, but they've literally got over 1 million people saying, I'm going to be there on this day. It's a day in September.
I'm with you.
And
And September
Think it's
20th.
gonna like protest walk in there.
And
No, they're
No.
gonna protest
Naruto.
storm it.
And
Yeah.
they're going to Naruto run.
Yeah.
So like the anime show, what's
Well,
that?
the monstered up Kyles go straight up the middle. Naruto's go around because they're faster.
And they run with their arms straight back and their chest out.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
Like Barry Goldberg.
yeah, yes, yeah. Just like Barry Goldberg, actually, but much faster. And they say they're going to Naruto run because you can outrun bullets that way.
Okay.
And
so they're all gonna get shot.
So, but people
I hope so.
people are getting reservations and planning. Like all the campgrounds in the area are starting to fill up, and places in around the area are starting to fill up for people calling in saying, "I'm going to be here on this day," and so then. Now the U.S. is taking it seriously,
Yeah, the Air Force.
and the Air Force is
specifically.
like, "You understand? Like,
This is a protected government site.
we're going to kill you if you come on the base.
But
like
they
if you
won't.
storm the base.
Nah,
if
they won't.
If they breach,
There's no way.
No.
what are they going to do? What can
Dude,
you do?
It would be
that
one thing.
place, That place has been guarded by ex-SF dudes for...
I know, but
years.
give me the situation. So, or I'll give you the situation, and you tell me how they could handle it. If you have, let's say, so right now they've got
100,000.
1 million,
Say 100,000
100,000 people push over the fences,
They're probably
and
electrified.
start coming
They
in.
don't even have fences. You just run on
Doesn't-
it.
Okay, so what do they do then? Non-lethal force. How do you do that?
Just lock them up to buildings. They're not gonna get in.
Or you just
100,000
fucking-
people?
Or you just bounce. You just say, nothing here.
I mean,
don't care
you
about
can't
this.
just
Dude,
abandon the site. You know that there's crazy shit out there.
Groom Lake has
think-
not been used.
You think there is alien stuff there?
I don't know if there's alien stuff. No, I don't think there's alien
don't.
stuff.
I think there's definitely, like-
from the Joe Rogan podcast. I think there's like human testings.
Well, he was the one. That was the one I was listening to.
See, that's the one that I listened to, was where the gal said, she did her investigative journalism and said that it was actually Russian
Yes.
humans that were altered.
Surgically altered.
Yeah, and they pretty much just like, threw the wool over our eyes on
I
it.
can
But
understand
the
a
point
lot
of
of
it was
like
they were making advanced weaponry.
that and a lot of underground shit going
That's
on.
what the...
To where you could cover that up easy with aliens.
I have a feeling like their security measures have to be more than just like locks on bunker doors. I'm sure that's like underground stuff and
From the... way back growing up, what I had always known was, okay, Area 51, it's a place. Everybody knew it. But you still didn't have like Google Earth where you could actually look at it.
yeah.
It wasn't available to the public, but now it is. But even then, you knew that like the F-117 that grew up there. It's a Lockheed test site.
Yeah.
So you had F-117s, SR-71s, all sorts of experimental aircraft would take off from Groom Lake and do their test runs, whatever they want to do, hypersonic, supersonic, run back.
Yeah.
Boom. That's all they did there.
I 100%
now-
believe that they will.
I bet they're not doing anything there anymore though.
Right. That's the thing, is that I saw a Popular Mechanics or Popular Science article that said, yes, this is Area 51. It's a dead site, essentially. Like, they don't do anything there. Sure, they have...
I don't believe it. I think they do. I mean, wouldn't you
They
want
might.
people to think that you don't do anything?
This day and age, just the way the technology is, and there's no real secrets to anything. If there was anything real juicy,
there is absolutely real secrets about things.
Oh,
you
yeah.
think you know everything about what's going on in the
Dude,
world?
they just
No.
briefed Congress on UFOs and how they're going to take them more seriously. I mean,
There's no
the
way
truth
that you
is
know
out there. Not
everything.
to quote Fox Mulder. But
I'm not saying that there's aliens like dropping down from other places.
there's this
I
really
don't think
popular.
that. But I guarantee you, there is some sneaky shit, like
DARPA.
some underground weird shit that they're doing at
I
some
guarantee
places.
you this all started based off of a Joe Rogan podcast where he interviewed this one guy.
Yeah.
Then there's a Netflix
Probably.
documentary.
Yeah,
That was super popular.
Bob Lazar.
Yeah,
or
Bob
Bill-
Lazar.
yeah,
Bill-
Bob Lazar. Yep.
Got like super popular.
did.
And then even Marley was like, I have to watch this. And then we started to watch it. And I'm like, this is the most boring
The
thing
documentary is
ever.
not
It's
good. The
awful.
Joe Rogan podcast is 1,000 times better than what
That's
the
what Marley said.
I think, because I watched it too.
So don't you think that probably born all of this?
Absolutely. I think it did stem from a lot of that stuff because it's been much more apparent and books are coming out more about it from these people. But I still, even so, it is a military base, and a military base it will not be overrun by anybody regardless of who it is.
I'm telling you,
So
if they're planning like a group or a group, whatever you want to call it,
a
rampage.
protest is one thing, but if they start storming things, I honestly believe they're going to start dropping gas on them. They'll use those light things, those
Oh,
light
yeah.
things, and then
The
those sound
strobes, yeah.
like those sound emitters
Yep.
that like paralyze you.
100% maybe.
All
They're
of
not going
that
to open
stuff.
fire with bullets into
Not
a crowd
on,
of Americans.
Yeah, they're
They
not going to
might.
do it on Americans.
They might.
Dude, no
Oh,
way.
they might.
What about, what's that secret
This is
weapon they always
Trump's
talk
America.
about where they shoot the
Even then, I don't think he would.
what's
want
the
to even
secret
push it.
weapon they're always talking about, the conspiracy
Railgun?
theorists where they shoot the weapon it makes people like shit themselves.
The B note.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know there's one that makes you like heat up. You get really hot and you can't
It's
physically
a
go forward
directed
anymore.
microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one that's supposedly like it's a sound thing
Yeah.
and it hits
Right.
you and it like makes you shit
I didn't
yourself.
know I didn't know that.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I always know the sound one, and then you also got the microwave one where you're literally cooking.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
think they can handle
Oh,
water
no.
cannons and tear gas and rubber bullets.
You can't.
until you get
can't-
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you realize how absolutely miserable it is. And
Like,
then you're like, this
rubber
is-
bullets and
feels
beanbags
bad.
will absolutely break ribs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. It's really
well,
bad.
I saw an article.
It'll break
on-
skin. You know,
yeah.
it'll break through your skin.
It'll bust your eyes out. That's one of the things.
It'll give you a
France
bruise.
is still
Okay.
France is still protesting over a 3-cent tax hike, even though we had
They never met Pritzker.
28 cents. Yeah,
Well, it was
19.
19.
19 for gas.
It was
Oh, it was
19,
19 for
on
gas?
top of the original 19. So
Right,
now it's
right.
38.
Yes,
but
they doubled it.
they actually
doubled.
only raised it 19.
But it was a 19-cent tax.
Oh, they must have capitulated the last time I had heard.
Well, every news article said 38-cent tax, but what
Right.
they didn't, people didn't read the actual article and they say it was a 19-cent increase in the
Right,
current
yeah.
tax.
Yes.
But yeah, for 3 cents over in France, they're still protesting, and people are. I think it said 24 people lost their eyes from rubber
my
bullets in France, and they're still marching on it.
What's crazy to me about the 19-cent gas hike is that it's all post-tax. So you're actually
Right.
being taxed after the federal taxes are applied.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's like
That's-
totally wrong.
Absolutely, it's totally wrong. All of it's totally wrong. And then there was another new tax that he was putting out.
On your
Cigarettes.
stickers.
No, there's something else I saw today.
Tobacco, I know that too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alcohol and tobacco are going up. Streaming
alcohol,
services.
Yeah,
That's the one.
streaming. Yes,
That hasn't been, I don't think that's been approved yet, but
Jeez, throwing things at me. So anyway, that was Amazon. Oh yeah, what is that? Zin?
that's the coffee flavored.
oh,
Weird. Let's see. Where do we begin now?
we need to move on.
Yeah, we're at 1 hour, so let's talk
'Cause I
about
got
some.
a lot of what I've been watching.
Well, and I got some news, so let's hit
get
in
into
some
some
news real
news.
quick.
What's in the news?
This is big, dude, for me.
Big news.
It like hits me right in the old
Red Neil
ticker.
Thumper. Yep.
Yeah, big time. Everybody, if you've followed this podcast, you've heard me say the name Brian K. Vaughan,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I love the man. I think he's an absolute writing genius.
He's a treasure.
Everything he's put out is amazing. And already he's getting they did a full series order at Amazon for Paper Girls.
Oh, I heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And that
exciting.
that comic book is so good. It's still going, and there's people that, I mean, like I haven't read all of it yet because I don't like to read it issue by issue and wait for it to get like at least 10 issues out, and then I'll start reading it again.
Right.
But man, it's a really good run. I think I've read the first like 10 or 12 issues, and it's just so good.
Yeah.
And he's got a series coming with that.
I'm excited.
And he's
Now
on board
I
with
have
it.
not started reading it yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I've had the book for like a year, and I haven't started reading it yet. It's in my backpack, as we found out in an earlier podcast. But
It's so good.
but now I don't know if I want to read it before the.
You know what I love
show.
about it more than anything is the art. And this is like the original Stranger Things. So this book came out before Stranger Things did, and it is set up just like Stranger Things. It looks like it. It's like an 80s style.
Yep.
Teen. It reminds me of Now and Then. You know the movie Now and Then
Yeah.
with the
Right,
girls that
yep.
ride the bikes around and stuff. It's exactly them, but they are literally paper girls, and they have routes, and then they come back and talk to each other about their routes and stuff. But then weird shit starts happening around the town, and those girls just happen to stumble upon it. It's super awesome because they talk about all the different girls and like what their lives are like and how they relate to each other, and I don't know, it's just super good. But what I've noticed with Brian K. Vaughan over time is that he 100% wants to write about women.
Yeah.
His main antagonist is about women. And I'm going to like breach the gap here from news to what you're reading real quick, because I started reading a new Swamp Thing. And it's Brian K. Vaughan's Swamp Thing that he wrote in 2000 and 2001.
Okay.
It's just called Swamp Thing. But it's about Teffe Holland. So it's Swamp Thing's daughter that he had with Abby Cable.
Right.
So Abby Cable turned into his wife as Abby Holland. They got technically married, and they had a baby. And then they hired a guy to act like a pseudo stepfather, which was John Constantine.
Okay.
And
That's pretty sweet.
Whoa.
yeah, really.
Okay.
So I just started the book. I've got the whole run. It's just 2 volumes, so it was 20 issues total. And it starts off just telling you like Teffe's backstory, and it's really messed up. Like it is, she's really messed up. And what's end up gonna happen throughout the book is where, so Swamp Thing kind of gave up his rule, so he was like a sentinel of the green. So
Right.
he was on Earth to, protect Earth
The green, yeah.
about everything. And he was like he was kind of like a go-between between humans and the green.
Right.
And he did everything there. He kind of gave that up. He stepped away from it. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm going to retire, basically. And then Tefe was out there running amok, doing some crazy things, and he's going to have to come in and stop her from doing what she's doing. And it all stems from the green, though. And then there's like a parliament of trees that they talk about too, that is making her do things. I don't know. I just started it. It's really, really good so far. I love the art. The art style is, I shouldn't say it's like phenomenal art, but it's typical of 2000, 2001. It's like that transition from 90s art to like
The more modern.
yeah, more modern style art.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's an in between there, and I like it a lot. I think it's really good. It reminds me a lot of the early X-Men stuff.
Okay.
The way they drew like Storm, and like all the women look like Storm to me for some reason.
Okay.
Not black, but because they're white women, but the way their hair is,
The
way
hair,
they're,
where it falls.
the way they're drawn, it just reminds me of Storm a lot. Super good.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Next little bit of news. Let's see. So Thor 4
Yeah, that was part of my news too.
has been confirmed,
It is confirmed.
and you know the director,
Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi reprising his writing
I'm
and directing.
super excited about that.
And interesting thing about that is it's going to come pre Guardians 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
All right.
who's James Gunn, or is it James Gunn that's doing Guardians?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He's been. Was it him or who was it? I think it was James Gunn that was on Twitter a bunch, and it kept saying like, quit calling it as Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
because it's not going to be that.
Well, obviously not now. So
Yeah, that's what
we'll
he
see.
keeps saying.
Guardians might make an appearance in Thor 4. And
Probably.
I bet
I
they do.
I hope so. But Thor's supposedly not going to be in Guardians 3.
Right.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I'd almost say from
I
what
don't know
I've
how.
seen.
I don't know how it
Guardians 3
can't be.
hasn't been written. So
Right. Yeah.
I know,
I can't see it. I mean,
I don't know how he
he's
can't be,
pro-
seeing as how he's riding on the ship with him at the
right.
moment.
Yeah. Exactly. So
I don't know.
I would say yes, but
we'll see. That's exciting, though. I'm glad that Chris Hemsworth's sticking around.
And then I've got a little
Right.
bit of a hot topic, like
Okay.
a hot button subject
Like
right
the
now
store.
on the internets.
Like our favorite store.
Hot topic, yeah. It is my favorite store by far.
hey,
Hot Topic.
Back in my day, youngins.
It was, yeah.
I loved Hot Topic for one reason. I was usually too afraid to go in there. No, I'm just kidding.
I would never. Yeah, you? What?
No, I'm just kidding. I loved Hot Topic because that was the only place that had like comic book shirts. And they had like punk rock band shirts, and I was
Yes.
really into punk
Yeah.
music. at the
Mine
time.
was all about like
Yep.
Metallica shirts and stuff. They had a
Oh,
lot of those.
they
So
do
does
not have a
Spencer's.
shorter.
But then it became goth. Like early on, it
Too much.
wasn't, and then it kind of swung goth, and then it kind of swung back. I don't even know if it's still a store anymore.
No, it's just a
but-
Pokemon store.
Is it really?
They still have it in the
maybe.
old Louis Joliet Mall.
Yeah, they have a lot of old things there.
Yeah, yes, they do. They do. So the hot topic
Not the store.
stuff that I'm going to talk about is about James Bond.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The 007, they picked a female. What's her name?
It's a girl from Captain Marvel.
Lashana Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is going to be the new 007. To me, I literally have no issue with this.
Yeah.
What's your take?
My take is, do you know the full story?
Maybe
Exactly. I want to know
maybe not.
how it goes because apparently James Craig he's still in it.
Daniel Craig.
not. Daniel
sorry.
Craig.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he is still in it.
Daniel Craig is still in it, and he's 007.
Well, here's the thing.
So how is it?
No, here's the
Go.
thing. 007 is just like that's
The
the
agent
agent.
number.
That's-
Designation.
That's the
Yes.
designation. Like 006 is a thing.
But there's
in
only
real
one.
life. Right. And who says it has to be a man to take over a 007
It
thing?
doesn't. But I read up on this a little bit.
Okay, good.
And nobody knows the answer specifically because we haven't seen the movie, obviously. But the idea that I've heard is that Daniel Craig, James Bond, she's not replacing James Bond. James Bond is him.
James Bond is a name.
Yes, is his name.
Yeah.
All right. He is retired. So it's canon in the books that when a 007 retires or dies, then there's a new 007 designation. Right. There's nothing that says it has to be a man or woman.
Because that's your license to kill. Exactly. It's a 00 license.
Yes.
So what I'm going to guess is going to happen here is, since he is still in the movie and he's still the main character.
Is it his kid?
No, I think that he retires.
Or retires, yeah.
She becomes the 007 agent.
Yeah.
And then probably through some series of events, he comes back. It's not been said that she's the main character.
Okay.
She could be in the movie for 10 minutes. We don't know.
Well, I guarantee it's longer than that.
Yeah.
So it really hasn't changed. It's not anything to be controversial about.
It's not.
Because James Bond is still James Bond. He would have given up, if that's the case, and he retired, he would have given up the 007 designation.
Sure.
And then he could easily come back. And then they'll probably have some drama of them working that out.
Yeah.
My guess is he might become sort of a rogue agent.
Because isn't Christopher Waltz coming back in this one too? Or
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
He was a bad guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Casino Royale, right?
He was. Yes.
It was Casino, or I thought that was
You don't even know names. Stop it.
Skyfall.
I really don't.
Javier Bardem. I never saw the last one though. Spectre.
I saw.
I've heard it was pretty bad.
I don't
remember. It was okay.
I like all of them.
So I don't think it's a big deal. I think what it's going to be is, I think what's happening here is that if that would have happened organically in the movie and not been hyped ahead of time, nobody would have said anything.
Yes.
But the studio's like, hey, how can we generate a ton of buzz for a movie that, let's face it, will always do well, but in the age of streaming, this would be the first James Bond movie that basically to come out and really in the strong age of streaming. In that age, they need some shock value. So they're prefacing by a year by making this big to-do.
Well, I think
generate buzz.
Yeah.
It generates buzz on the internet, and the internet goes wild with it.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter what it is.
And it's super negative all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to be so negative about something that you don't even know about?
It's not all negative. There's a lot of people that are taking the opposite stance.
Mermaid, the new Mermaid movie, the live action. Yeah. And
it's the same thing.
It's going to have a person of color as the mermaid, and
Everybody's
everybody gets freaked
now.
out about it, and it's like, why? Why does it have to be? It doesn't have to be. It could be a new storyline.
To me, that is completely ridiculous.
Because what if they were all green?
Nobody
would care.
Why not?
It's a mermaid.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, the whole point of a mermaid was whenever they came over to the Americas and they ran across manatees. Maybe.
No, there's real mermaids. There was a Discovery Channel thing about real mermaids. Yeah. Okay,
it could be.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Do you remember that?
No,
you don't remember that?
Oh gosh, I remember.
Discovery Channel
so much
put out a documentary, or was it a documentary, or it was like they acted like it was a true thing that they discovered mermaids,
right?
And it was all about mermaids and how they were a real thing. And it blew up really big. It was when was it? Like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
But it was a big deal. And then obviously they put it out as a real documentary about them finding mermaids and everything. And then, obviously later they're like, "Oh no, this was a big hoax." Like,
right?
It's not a thing.
Ta-da, hoax.
Yeah.
I mean, what's obviously not bothersome or an issue is that like they would recast that, and they'd put, a black girl as Little Mermaid. Fine. Mm-hmm. What is kind of can be a little bit whatever is that if that studio sat there and said like, okay, we need to find a black girl to play the Little Mermaid because we need to be politically whatever. I feel like that's probably what happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that could absolutely be the thing?
Well, the way that Disney's been going, I would say yes, but it works. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But the very fact that you have to go out of your way to do that, to make some sort of a statement,
is also ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's just should be whoever's the best actor gets the role.
Well, and that was an argument that I saw, is that they said, has anybody ever thought of like so many people auditioned for this, and maybe this person
Right.
auditioned the best out of anyone else, and that's who the studio picked.
Is there a race in the mermaids in the first place? They're mermaids. They're not human beings.
Yeah, they're not. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I mean, you could just go back to Aquaman. I mean, how many races are represented in Aquaman? I didn't watch it. So
I tried to watch it. It's a rough sit.
I
but
like it.
For me, I mean, you got Jason Momoa.
I don't
who
think it's
is-
that rough. This is where we're going to argue. I don't think it's rough to watch. I think it's a good movie. It just, it's Aquaman. It is what it is.
Yeah. So he could be whoever he wants to be. Whether
Aquaman-
originally he's blonde haired and
Orange and green.
all over.
So with the 007 thing, like I specifically think that is probably one character that, whether it's a man or a woman, is kind of irrelevant because he's a spy.
Right.
Now they've done with Daniel Craig, they've made him more of a bruiser
Yes.
than
Right.
past James
Yeah.
Bonds.
He's
But
a bruiser.
they're all different. Well, I guess James Bond is the same character.
They're all different
Some of them are-
incarnations
yeah,
of
exactly.
James Bond, right? And
The point
nobody's
is-
ever
From the
had a
books,
problem with that.
James Bond's
Yeah.
still in it.
Yeah.
James Bond's still James Bond. If they recast and they said, "Oh, we're done with Daniel Craig and we're going to make this lady James Bond 007," that wouldn't make or
Yes.
Jamie Bond.
And that's
Yeah.
the big problem
Yeah.
is that everybody's saying the new James Bond. No, it's not a new James Bond.
It's the new 007.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I think, from what I've read, that it's just a part of the story that he's retired and he's going to come back. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't bother me.
I won't see it either way.
Even then, years
You
ago,
won't. So you're not a big fan of the James Bond movies, obviously.
It's not that I'm not. I guess not. No.
I like the movies.
I don't,
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen any of them in theater.
No.
Oh no, I've never
No,
seen them in
no,
theater.
no.
Nope.
That's how I designate. I mean, I'll see it probably.
Played
I-
the games.
Yeah.
Gosh, did I ever play the games?
So I got some other news too.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know if you're done or not, but
Yeah, go for it.
This one real quick because I mentioned it last week. But there is billboards all over San Diego outside of Comic-Con that just say hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Billboards take over San Diego ahead of Comic-Con.
Who's putting?
I
These
don't know who's
billboards
funding
out?
them.
Yeah.
But to the very fact that there's enough money and power behind it that there's billboards
Yeah.
makes me
kidding.
think that it might happen.
I don't know.
I stick by the fact that I don't think it needs to happen, but you've
and
heard
we've talked about this
it
before.
sounds like a cool concept. Like it sounds like he had the right idea
yeah,
for that movie.
I like the idea behind what he had done in his original cut, but is there like a need for that to come out?
No, but I would see it. I'd be into it.
I would absolutely watch it. I would only watch it because of what it is and it coming out to the public. Like I would absolutely watch that because it's something that's been held from us.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason why. It's not because I'm going to put billboards up or support the billboards to say like we absolutely need this.
It's a shame that the studio Warner Brothers, I guess, was so fickle that like there's a little bit of a negative reaction to Batman vs Superman.
Right.
They're obviously already in production with Justice League at the time of the release of that movie, and the movie still makes like $800 million.
Right.
And then there's a little bit of backlash, and they go like, "Well, stop the presses. We got to make a whole new movie here."
No.
They had the right.
Man.
If you go by what the original storyline was supposed to be, according to the sources we've heard, which are Doomsday,
Right.
or no, Darkseid, sorry, and like a little bit darker take Justice League with like an expanded universe.
Right.
It sounded really cool.
The premise of it
If
sounded
they would have
phenomenal.
just stuck with it, it probably would have been fine.
I would agree. But then again, I don't necessarily need that movie.
By the way, Justice League also made an obscene amount of money.
They all did.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
all do.
They always make an obscene amount of money because we want to see those movies, regardless of what comes out. But
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
seen the movie.
Right.
I don't necessarily need another cut of the movie. And me saying that, like, I'm 100% on board with whatever DC wants to do.
But not a better cut of the movie?
Who says it's better? We're saying it's better because we think it's going to be better. But you could see it now.
They released
Say-
director's cuts of movies. I mean, they released a director's cut of Daredevil
Right.
a bunch
Yeah.
of other
See, that's the
things.
hook. Is sometimes it's like, well, is it really better or is it just a little bit better?
But what we talked about last time is that rough cut that was finished would not have been, the CGI would not have been finished. So
Exactly.
Okay.
the
It would
reality of
be,
the situation
Well-
is, would they have to spend $50 million, $100 million to make that cut?
if they're gonna put out a new movie, they have to finish it. They
Yeah.
can't
Would
literally
they make
give you
$100
the
million back though?
no.
No way.
know.
Not on a director's cut.
They
No way.
I think they'd have to do a theatrical re-release.
Boy,
It'd have to be a lot different of a movie though.
right? It would have to
Yeah,
be so
it
much
had to
different.
It
than
can't
the
just be like an extra 20 minutes of footage.
no,
Right. Yeah.
or spliced in,
Right.
and then it wouldn't
Right.
be the same.
All
I
right,
don't know.
two other quick ones. Jonathan Hickman, the renowned author, comic book author, has came out and said he thinks it's a big mistake that Marvel Comics has decided to start taking cues from Marvel Studios in regards to their comic books. So they're tailoring their
Okay.
comics now after the movie universe.
I agree with Jonathan
I
Hickman.
do agree with him. I didn't read the specifics of exactly what he's talking about, but they're, I think that's right. I think it's they need to keep the universes completely separate, and they've had good luck with having two different universes, but also keeping the source material in the comics fresh.
Correct. And like the comics always come first.
Yeah,
Like
Right.
in my world, the comics come first. You make the comic book and then tailor a movie to that, however you have to do it. Don't change the comics for movies. It doesn't work that way.
yeah. He says it goes back to, are you being destructive or are you being additive? If you're being additive, you're on the big books, it's inevitable that some of the stuff is going to get used. When Marvel Films gets around to the X-Men and we've done some interesting stuff and they want to use it, that's awesome. If they don't, then they don't. One makes your job expendable, the other makes your job priceless. I like having value to my work.
He's smart.
I mean, he's right on.
Yeah, he's very smart. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Don't tailor comic books to movies. The movies come from the comic books. And again, you can take the source material and make a movie out of that. You can't make movies to make comic books.
And you don't need to make the movie exactly like the comic books.
No, none of them have to be the same.
Right.
Everybody wants movies to be like the comic book, but nobody has been
A
sitting
small
here.
percentage of people, the people that read comics.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
exactly. Like the people that read the comics want the movies to be like the source material, but I don't think you should make a movie and then say, well, let's tailor a comic book to that movie. It doesn't work the same way. The sales would not be
They will not be good.
at all.
No.
The thing is that I find interesting is I would say probably about 95% of the people that say, I wanted that movie to be more like the source material, until that movie came out and they saw it, they never went back until they went to a Wikipedia article
Yes.
and read the source
Yeah.
material.
No, you're right.
They probably never
Okay.
even read the comics even after the fact.
And I don't think, I don't like what bolsters sales for comic books is because the movie came out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you can add to comic sales from a movie and then people get the original story there. I don't feel like it would work the same from a movie to a comic
I agree.
because you get the movie and you see it in live action.
Unless it's something that started as a movie first,
but I
and
feel
then you have expanded content in the comic book, maybe.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if it's expanded content, but if you try to tailor a movie or tailor a comic book off of the movie, you're not getting much more content out of that.
Right.
And it's again, like we're in a kind of a lazy day and age where people don't want to do work, and reading is somewhat work, especially in a comic book because you're looking at like all of the art. Sometimes you just have to follow the art before you even get any dialogue.
Right.
And that's work to people. Nobody wants to do that.
My big takeaway for people out here is if you enjoy comic book movies, but you've never really read comic books, don't think that they're the same thing.
Right.
Oh, no.
They're not the same thing.
No.
That's why we keep telling you to read the comics, because they're so, I won't say better, but they're different, and they are better in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
But
I
there's a
think they
story
are.
that you can tell in comics that you can't tell in movies, and there's
more
stories in
deep.
movies that you can't tell in comics.
So it's just deeper. deeper.
It's definitely deeper.
everything.
It's more interpersonal. It's more character based.
Right, yeah,
it's
interpersonal.
It's they're different things.
Well, and again, what I've said prior is that a lot of people create story in their brain, right? When you read things. So you can read a comic book, and it's more so towards novels because you create a whole image in your mind when you're reading a novel. But even in comics, you get the art in front of you, so you know basically what happens, and you read the story. But you can create a bigger story in your head by reading that and saying like, well, I think this is what happened. If you have a movie come first and then a comic come after that, there's no sense of imagination there.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it doesn't really tie into the movie, so what are they trying to say here?
Right.
Right.
Are they changing the movie? Because I like the movie better.
And they're just different. Like comics are, they're just different. They're more. It's more story character based.
Character
Even though
based
I
is
did
the big thing.
Well, it kind of runs back to Game of Thrones, which I don't know if you guys had discussed it before, but yeah.
Well,
it's like,
if you followed our podcast,
Yeah. We have a whole episode on it.
yeah, I kind of bounced off for a little.
yeah, this is why you're not getting invited back.
I'll catch up, Gerald. I'll catch up.
One more quick bit, real quick. We won't go on this too long.
Okay.
Mark Millar has came out, and he apparently called Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in the early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah, and he also predicted Sam Jackson as Nick Fury
Well, the dude's a genius.
because Mark Millar, obviously, I think the creator of the Ultimate Universe, right?
Yeah.
Sam Jackson. I mean, he modeled Nick Fury after Sam
After
Jackson.
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson became Nick Fury in the movies.
Right.
Robert Downey Jr., obviously. He has called it. He has said, he declares that Taron Egerton will be the next Wolverine.
Taron
Do
Egerton.
you know who that is?
Yeah, absolutely. He was in Bright. He was the
Okay. Yeah.
the orc.
Kingsman.
Yeah, and he was in
Kingsman.
He's been in a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. He was in that newer Robin Hood movie. I think he played Robin Hood.
Yeah.
He seems
Yes.
a little young.
Yeah.
He seems a little young to me for Wolverine, but
Well, considering Wolverine was originally born in
Wolverine's
the
always been
1860s.
like, I would say, middle-aged.
Yeah.
I've always thought of him as like in his 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s.
How old's Taron
Yeah.
Egerton?
He looks young, but he's probably in his 30s.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're wrong.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's just because Hugh Jackman, I mean, since the beginning of that, he always looked like an adult. He always looked like he was in his
Right.
40s. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
The problem
yeah.
with actors is that they age in real time.
Not Hugh Jackman.
Well, right, but they
Yeah.
age in real time, so they had to age Wolverine with him. But in the comic books, he doesn't really age.
Just like how you aged on this damn face app,
yeah,
which is apparently like a Russian.
That's the new
app.
hot thing.
that's
So
what-
we're all just giving your information.
well, no,
the Russian government.
They have no access to my photos.
It's
or
okay. The
content.
Russians share with the CIA and every
Anyway, that's it for the news that I got. You got anything else?
Big collusion there.
collusion.
hashtag.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
That's what. It's a hot button issue.
I thought a door
That's what
just
the
opened.
kids say.
I know I was like, did a door open?
Mystery door.
No, I don't really have any more news.
Do you got any news, Nate?
No.
I got a ton of what I've been watching because I've been watching a lot.
And go.
Do you have any what you're watching? I'll let you start it off because I got to pull up in my app here.
I mean, I caught up on Swamp Thing.
Okay, that's one that I've been watching. I'm caught up on that too.
So episode 7 was the most recent one that came out.
I'm starting to get more and more depressed as the show goes on that there's no way that they can make anything satisfying happen in the next 3 episodes.
I agree.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you watched any of it yet, Nate?
No. That's.
So I
need to steal Jerry's password,
password.
for that.
Yeah, no, I agree because they just keep building on the story and putting more characters involved with more things, and I just don't see how any of that can be resolved
Yeah.
in the next 3 episodes.
The
And
last
that
episode
doesn't
was
even-
cool. Don't get me wrong. The episodes are all cool, but like the story's not advancing very quickly.
No.
And it's kind of starting to drag a little bit.
I still love it. I love everything about it, except for the fact that I don't. The only reason I don't love it is because I understand that they cannot wrap this up in 3 episodes and then it's over.
You know it's going to end.
If I knew there was a season 2 and it was 12 episodes, I would be in love with the show right now.
Yes.
But I know
Right.
that that's not the case, so it's kind of dampening the experience.
Wait, so is it
Agreed.
like another Game of Thrones type thing? Like, you know that you only have so many episodes
Yeah, for
left,
sure.
and
Yeah.
you can't consciously like wrap it all
It's
up.
clearly
with a
they're
clean
taking
bow.
their time
Because it was the first season.
because it was the season 1. They were taking their
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and then they clearly got told, "Nope, this is it." And then they're like, "Okay."
Oh shit! Yeah.
And I'm pretty positive they found this out because of an interview that the guy that plays Swamp Thing, like the actual Swamp Thing, the guy that's in the makeup and whatnot, he was saying in an interview that they didn't find out it was cut down from 13 to 10 until like episode 8.
Yeah.
So they,
Even at 13 would feel rushed for what they're trying to do this season.
knowing
It's a
that it was
slow
ending,
burn, man. It's
yeah,
a slow burn.
yeah, it really is it is pretty slow, but
Have they done that in the past? And this is a little bit of spoilers, nothing significant, but have they done like where she's getting some sort of hallucination and she sees him, not as Swamp Thing?
the reason she hallucinated is because of what Swamp Thing like
Released.
released to her. I mean, in the comic books they've done that.
They have? Okay.
Yeah, in the comic books they've done that, but there's just not enough time to do any of that.
Yeah.
Like they
Like,
did
he's
it.
just like starting to even like scratch the surface of understanding the green.
Yeah.
And we're 7 episodes out of 10.
I know.
So they can't get as deep as I'd like them to get. But
So from
Right.
that, so saying that, I wouldn't say don't watch it.
no, it's still a good show.
Absolutely watch
Right.
it, and it is by far the best Swamp Thing character itself
For sure.
that I've ever seen in live action. It's amazing. I think they've done an incredible job with him. I wish he was in it a little more. Like I wish they centered it around him
He
rather
doesn't
than
really,
around Abby.
He doesn't really do a lot.
It's centered around Abby Arcane.
Yeah.
Like the whole show's centered around her, and what she's going to like investigate. And again, that would be fine if it was multiple seasons.
And she's
but
kind of progressively becoming kind of a more annoying character.
because her being a doctor and working for the CDC, she seems awfully dumb.
And not to seem to work very often.
Oh, she does no work. Yeah, she does no work.
Wait, so maybe she does work for the CDC.
Well, right.
It's a government agency, so
And too much on whatever the bad guys, Avery Sunderland.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. But that brings me back to some news that we forgot. That's a huge news.
What?
Huge news. That we've kind of figured out the whole DC universe, what's happening with it, the Warner streaming service.
I didn't hear
They
this.
released.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
How did I
What?
not hear
They
this?
released
Yeah.
it all.
Where have I been?
yeah.
HBO Max is the new streaming service. It's going to be the Warner streaming thing, HBO, DC Universe, all of it together.
Well, I'll buy that.
And
Yeah, wrapped
it's
up
for
and done.
us, for me and you, who already pay for HBO and DC, I think it's going to be cheaper. I think it's going to be the same price as what we're currently paying for HBO, but they're going to wrap in all the Warner. So everything under Warner
okay. Yeah.
and everything DC, it's all going to be in there.
Yep.
Now
Nice.
it might be a couple bucks more or something. This is going to have premium content from HBO, Warner Brothers, New Line, DC Entertainment, CNN, TNT, TBS, True TV, the CW, Turner Classic Movies, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Looney Tunes, and more.
Yeah.
Everything that's not Disney.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And this,
Yep.
I think, is
Yep.
genius of them. HBO Max, I think, is an awful name, but
Yeah.
it totally reminds me of like something like out of the 80s. But
Skinamax.
Right.
the big ones they're launching with is that they're going to have all the Friends episodes, which I don't give a little, even the smallest bit of a shit about. But Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they're talking about.
Yeah.
But they're going to have DC, the app, Batwoman, all that stuff.
It'll be really good.
Production deals with Greg Berlanti and Reese Witherspoon.
Greg Berlanti is making some cash.
They're going to have the Dune show. They're going to have Dune show. They're going to have a show called Tokyo Vice.
Oh, no.
A thriller called The Flight Attendant.
Is Don Johnson involved with that?
Oh, they're gonna do Station 11, which is a post-apocalyptic series. based on a book that was really popular.
I'll buy it.
They're going to do an animated Gremlin show.
I just heard that.
Oh, shit.
So I just heard that Mark Bernardin was talking about it on Fat Man on Batman. Or what's it called? Fat Man Beyond.
They're going to do a Stephen King show called The Outsider.
That's a new book that just came out last year.
They're going to do a Lovecraft Country, which is produced by Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams.
Wow.
Ooh. That's
Tons
a good
of
team
stuff.
up.
Perry Mason's coming back with produced by Robert Downey Jr.
Wow.
Huh.
So it's going to be...
These are huge things.
Yeah,
It's a
no
big
kidding.
thing. Well, Warner Entertainment, they're going to have all of it. All
Yeah.
those movies, everything.
That's huge.
And they're going to
Yeah.
roll it all with HBO. I mean...
There's so much money
If I can get all
kidding.
of that and still only pay the $15 a month, that's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
So that
Makes
super
me a lot
exciting.
happier.
that we're not having a bunch of little services.
Yes.
Right.
Hopefully, though, they don't take shows away. That's my thing.
Yeah. So if we can
can
get
see-
that HBO, DC, all that as one service, and then we got our Netflix, and then the Disney stuff,
But, like, don't you want to see a Doom Patrol 2, Season 2?
that's coming
It is, for sure.
for sure.
I hope so.
And I think Swamp Thing will come back too.
It better. It better. If the only holdup is because they don't want to spend money about this stage
Stupid.
and whatnot, between
Yeah.
HBO and, I mean, Warner Brothers, they've got money.
It's going to totally depend on the fans.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Well, the fans
money
are
for it.
pushing.
Don't you think though? This DC, I'm telling you, like DC app is my go-to now. Could you imagine
Yeah.
a Batman show, live action?
Man.
It'd be like unprecedented.
Produced even at the level, because I don't know, I know you haven't watched a lot of this, but these are a production quality above the CW stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say,
Significantly
if
above.
we're doing CW production quality for
Next
a Batman
level up.
show, I'd be like, eh. But if we're going
I'd
a
still watch
little
it.
step above
it's
it,
the step
yeah.
above CW, a step below like HBO, like Game
Okay.
of Thrones,
But
Westworld type.
But will it be
Oh.
now that it's involved with HBO? I don't think it will be.
Could be.
Because HBO
I
is
could see
100%
it.
involved.
I'm guessing Warner must own HBO. I don't know.
I would assume so if they're in the same app. That's what I mean. So
Must
if you're
be.
pooling this money,
all your resources and money and everything.
right?
Yeah.
Like because they're gonna like if Warner Brothers is doing whatever with HBO, that was a separate entity to them. But for a streaming service, it's all one thing.
Yeah.
right.
With HBO, throw all the monies at it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
So moving on, here's a bunch of what I've been watching. My big one, my huge one,
Yeah.
is Spider-Man: Far From Home. I went to see.
Oh,
I can't talk about it
No, you cannot. Please do not.
No.
because we'll
Yeah.
review it on our next show because Jerry's been slacking off.
Right.
big time.
I will see it probably in the next 4 days.
Okay. It's. I'll just give you my initial take.
Okay.
It's a very great, fun. Very much enjoyed it.
Good.
Liked it a lot. You'll enjoy it.
Better than Homecoming?
Different than Homecoming. I'd have to rewatch Homecoming to say better or not.
So that this movie is the official end to whatever
This
what do they
generation of Spider-Man.
call it? Yeah.
No,
This
no.
generation of Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Marvel Phase 3 end.
That's what it is. Phase 3. So
Okay.
that is the official end of Phase 3 of Marvel. Phase 4 starts after this.
Great stuff, great humor, great action, great movie. You'll love it.
Okay.
I won't go too much more into depth.
That's all I want.
It's a movie though. I mean, it feels like a standalone movie, much the same way that Homecoming did.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I like that these Spider-Man movies that they're making seem to like feel like their own thing.
100%.
They
I
don't
would-
feel like the other Marvel movies.
Well, and I'd much rather have it that way
and
because
they're not. They're Sony. I mean,
yeah, it's a Sony property. I would much rather have it that way because I don't want it. I don't want him tied into everything else. I mean, he is tied into everything else, but I don't want the movie to feel like it's tied in.
and it doesn't. They're made different. They look different. The dialogue's different. It's
Is the humor a little bit different?
yeah, it's definitely got it's definitely in the same vein as Homecoming. That kind of light, fun type
Like
of
a-
movie.
But
Is
it's
it
not
like
like,
a-
in your face. Like
No,
here, laugh at this.
no.
Is it still kind of like a John Hughesy
Yeah, kind of.
type?
Oh,
Very
okay.
much. And it's a road trip movie.
Right.
Oh.
very much in a way.
Okay.
And I'll just say right off the gate, Jake Gyllenhaal nails it.
Man.
Oh, really? And you were
I
so
would,
against
I would
him.
expect nothing less from Jake.
You were
really would not.
Listen to him. He's like, my buddy Jake.
My buddy
we go way
Jake.
My
back.
homie.
No, he
Shout
nails
out.
it. He's great.
And you were skeptical.
I was skeptical.
That's good. I wasn't.
You'll very much enjoy it, and stick around for the post credits.
Okay. I knew there was a post-credit scene.
Two post credit scenes,
Oh, okay.
What?
and they're I'm trying to remember exactly. Yeah, they're worth sticking around for. They're good.
All right.
One of them's like, what's happening here?
That gets me excited.
It's very much. One of them's very much. Both of them, in fact,
Setting up more.
very much setting up Phase 4,
Okay.
but not giving away anything.
Oh,
Just kind of like in a way where you're like, what?
Yeah.
even I want to watch this.
I really feel like I needed to see this.
Yeah, you did. So we'll review that, and by that time we'll be past. We're already really past the spoiler period. But
Right. Well, not for me. We set the bar on spoiler period.
all right, so we've talked about Swamp Thing. Another big one that I'll hold this one real quick. I watched the new Aziz Ansari stand up on Netflix. He's got a new stand up special. I thought it was really good.
I haven't
Okay.
watched it. I'm just not huge. I mean, the
not
only
a-
reason I like Aziz Ansari is because of
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his stand up, but I like that he got in a bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, and
a
like
little
almost career ending.
Yeah,
trouble.
almost.
And he directly addresses it at the beginning.
Does he really?
Oh, really?
And it's funny. It's stand up in a way. It's
But
interesting how he did it because it's stand up,
but
it's
it's like
also
clearing the table.
It does that. It's stand up, but it also kind of he has got a message, and it's almost like a speech to like it's like a prepared speech, but also stand up, and he gets deep
Okay.
in some of it, and it's kind of some of it's pretty emotional. It was pretty good. I enjoyed watching it.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I watched the first episode of Black Mirror,
Okay.
which has Anthony Mackie in it. Anthony Mackie signed a huge deal with Netflix. He's in another show called Point Break, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
And he was in this Black Mirror. I've only watched one of the new episodes. There's only 5 or something. I don't even know if there's that many. And it's super interesting. I would totally watch it. It's the first one out. And the idea behind it is Anthony Mackie is it starts out when he's younger, and it's him and his buddy that's his roommate and this girl that they all live together, and they play like it's basically like a Mortal Kombat type game all the time.
Okay.
And then it kind of flash forwards in the future. He gets married to that girl that they're roommates with. He's got a family. He's an adult, boring life, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And he gets back together with this old friend of his. And this is now in the future, and they have the VR. The game's all VR.
Yeah.
Right. I don't really want to give it away, but I don't feel like it's giving it away. So him and his friend goes to this party, gives him this game. He's like, it's the same game, but it's just updated now. And they're like, get this. And it's a VR chip you like plug into your skin.
Okay.
And you like pass out and you're like in the world 100%.
Like Matrix.
Yeah. And they start playing this game,
Ready Player One.
fighting at first,
Yeah.
but you can do whatever you want in this game. It's a one-on-one fighter. So
Sex.
they're different characters in the game. His buddy is a woman and he's a man, and they basically fall in love
Have sex.
as game characters.
Oh, shit.
But then outside of the game, they're like really confused. Because in the game, one's a guy and one's a
go
girl.
figure.
Yeah.
You know, but then they're like, are we gay? And the one's married, and the other one's like,
Wow.
and
Hey, Tony.
it was good. It was
That
interesting.
sounds very interesting.
It was
and
intriguing.
Very Black Mirror-ish.
Yeah, very Black Mirror. Okay, here's one of my big ones. I started watching on the DC app Krypton.
Oh, yeah. I want to see that.
That one had
I had
my interest.
no interest in this whatsoever until the guy that is in it was
Yeah.
on Kevin Smith.
I know.
talking
That's
about
why I wanted to watch it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's good.
It sounds really
I
good.
really enjoy it.
The production's really good.
Production value is great.
It's
Yeah.
It looked good from
That's
what
a
I had
Berlanti
seen.
show too, right?
I Yeah, I don't know. It's on Sci-Fi, I think.
Yes, it's on Sci-Fi.
But I thought he was like involved with it.
Could be.
Well, see, that was the first thing that threw me off. Sci-Fi.
So I've never had any interest in anytime anything Superman related goes to Krypton, it loses my interest immediately.
Yep.
But this is like set in the
see
past.
that,
This would be Superman's
Great grandpa.
great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but the Superman is a character in it, but in the future. You don't see him from yet, at least.
So the idea of it, right, is that he's trying to save
Superman
Superman.
from the past,
Yeah.
from
What they're doing.
from
Right.
well,
Whatever's happening at the
Through
time.
through whatever's going on.
Brainiac is the big villain. And
Okay.
Brainiac's like a world-eating entity. I haven't
Really?
seen much yet.
Isn't
but Brainiac Zod is in it,
Okay, yeah, Zod.
And he's kind of a good guy.
but not yet. I haven't gotten to that point yet.
But
his family's in it now. In the
Yeah.
past, he comes back from the future. Now, Adam Strange. At the first episode, I was really confused because they're in Krypton. They're wearing Krypton-y clothes.
Yeah.
And then this guy shows up in a hoodie with like a Detroit Tigers hat on.
Okay.
And I'm like, whoa.
Whoa, where are we going here?
And then you find out that it's Adam Strange from the
Okay.
future that has come back to warn Superman's great-great-grandfather of Brainiac, who I'm assuming has come back from the future as well.
Yeah.
Because he wants to destroy Krypton, and so Superman's never born.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
And but so that's part of the story, and then the other part of the story is this undertone of like the elite in the Krypton society, and then they have like the lower class,
Right.
and they have
Okay.
like titles and stuff.
Right.
So
It's
this,
a caste system.
yeah, and they're in this lower class, they have this terrorist organization called Black something, and they're basically like terrorists that are trying to overthrow this hierarchy. And so, but the top class has the military and all this stuff,
Right.
and they're basically just looking at all of these lower class people like, well, they're all disposable.
Right.
Let's just wipe them all out to get to this terrorist organization. So
Okay.
there's a lot of that going on. It's a good show. Very good
Sounds
show.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I would recommend that. And then there was two that I tried to watch. One was Dark on Netflix. And
I don't even know that. What is that?
I don't know. I tried to watch it. The first episode was super creepy, and then it's also in some foreign language dubbed over to English, and I couldn't watch it.
I won't do that.
Oh man.
I thought
So-
you watched everything with closed captioning on.
I do, but it's still dubbed, and that drives me crazy. I wish it was just in the regular other language. And
Yeah.
but the other one, funny enough, was also in another language, but not dubbed, and that was Fred Armisen's new show on HBO,
Oh, yeah. It's all Spanish.
Los Spookies.
Yes. I've heard that's really good.
I tried to watch the first episode, but it's all in Spanish, and I gave up. I'm like,
But don't you just watch it with...
Tapped out.
yeah, I
CC?
couldn't do it.
I'm done.
I can't do it.
I've heard it's really good, though. There was people that liked it. A lot of people.
My big one is that I finished Stranger Things season 3.
Oh,
I have not finished
So we
it.
can't talk
Haven't
about
Darn
it.
it.
I haven't even watched a single episode.
Okay.
I've watched 5 episodes of it, but I have not finished it.
Okay, well, next episode we'll do a review of that.
Oh, boy.
'Cause
Dang
you'll be
it.
done by then.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, I will be.
I want to say I think it's my favorite season.
Good.
Really?
I love season 1. I liked season 2 even better.
Dude,
and I think I like season 3 even better.
I love...
Wow, that's.
The-
I had heard from people before that season 1, amazing. Season 2.
Wait.
Season 3,
Let me get
eh.
this straight. You've never seen any of the seasons?
No.
Who are you?
You've never seen any Stranger Things?
I'm a YouTuber. I don't stick on Netflix
You
at all.
are ridiculous.
Yeah, you need to watch Stranger Things.
Nate,
I watch history shit on YouTube. Like,
Well, this
that's
is-
my main thing.
this is why you are basically handicapped to what the world is doing right now.
Believe me.
I don't know who you are anymore. Watch the shows that everyone else is watching so that you can come on our podcast and talk about this stuff.
And actually add something.
Yes.
By the way,
Relevant.
end of the season 3, huge,
Wait.
like mind blowing thing happens, and then teaser at the end where you're like, ooh, big time cliffhanger.
These Duffy brothers have
They're amazing.
a mind.
So that's what I want to talk about, and we'll get into it more once we do the review and you see the season.
Okay.
But these guys are incredible, and that's what I was going to say about this show. So this show is one that, like, it's not a show that I, like, sit around all year and I'm like, I can't wait for the next Stranger Things.
I got pretty excited for this season. That's why I'm so surprised
it
that I
kind
haven't
of
seen
came
all
and
of
I
it.
forgot it was even coming, and then it came back and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So it's not one that I'm like obsessed with, but these guys are so amazing that every single episode is so good,
Yeah.
and they keep the story moving.
That's what I was just going to
so
say.
quickly.
They move the story every single episode, and it's something that you're bought into right away.
You're bought in. There is never, not one moment of this season that I think, Ben, this is slow, or I don't need this exposition, or I don't
Yeah.
need this or that.
So it's just binge worthy.
It's the
Bro,
most
so
binge-worthy show ever.
Okay.
These guys have
Yeah.
this amazing way that I wish more writers and more
They've tailored
screenwriters
it. They've
could-
tailored it to the Netflix like
Crowd.
world, or like the Netflix like diagram of how a show is going to be made. They've tailored the show to that, and they've made it like the maximum it could be.
Yeah.
In that format.
But what's amazing to me is that you can put out 10 episodes, let's
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
10 straight hours of content that at no moment at all do you ever feel anything slow.
Yeah.
You get no flashback episodes. You get none of this. And they're still able to give you all the character stuff and all the stuff that makes you connected to the characters, but in a way that is so dynamic and forward focused that you don't even know you're getting it. It just all comes like a barrage.
Right.
And it's never bad.
Yeah.
It's so solid.
Nice.
The guys have it down really well, and I was worried about this year coming into this season, thinking like, man, how can they do this again to the way they've done it? Because I thought like they played out the upside down, they played it out,
Yeah.
but coming into this season, then seeing what they were started, like I said, with the first 5 episodes that I've seen, I was like, okay, wait a minute.
And the
like
whole
they're
subplot for that is amazing. And then the fact that they've put together, and I don't know if you've gotten this far yet, but there's different bands of people at this one. And that's a big thing that people are talking about, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
What your favorite team up is.
Yeah.
Because they've split all the characters into different teams.
Oh wow.
And the whole season, the characters are with their team.
So it's based
essentially.
off of their like. Don't they play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, it's not based off that. And then they bring in a couple new characters that are one new character specifically that is fantastic.
Gosh, okay.
I think by far
Interesting.
this is the best season, and it's definitely it's so quick and just everything is perfect. I mean, just how it moves it forward is great,
That's good to know.
and it's still got the humor and the levity. It's great.
That's good to know. I really haven't. I know so many people that have finished the season already, and I haven't heard.
It went quick. I don't even think it
Anything
was
from
10
it.
episodes. I felt like I finished watching it. I'm like, I can't believe that I just watched that many episodes.
Here, isn't that amazing that you can have 10 hours worth of content, and before we're going to the movies and seeing something that's 2.5 hours longer, if it hit 3 hours, you're like, holy smokes, like this is so long, and you get so much stuff out of that. And yet now we're in a day and age where we're getting 10, 12, 13 hours worth of content, and you're like, man, I wish I had more.
That
Yeah.
10 hours of content felt like a 2-hour movie to me.
That's always like whenever I remember whenever Fargo first came out, and then somebody did an interview with Billy Bob Thornton, and he's like, "Hey, movies are nice, but
This
TVs,
This is where it's
TVs
at.
are the long, drawn out
Yeah.
storyline. That is where this is all gonna go.
Yeah.
like you can't throw stuff into a 2.5 hour movie.
But
more or
in
less.
that vein, I'll give you. I could list off a bunch of shows that they'll take that 10 hours and there's a lot of
waste it.
filler bullshit in there that you
Right.
still enjoy,
Yes.
but you don't need. But
completely
Stranger
unnecessary,
Things
yeah.
isn't that. It's like all 10 hours are relevant, good, move it forward. You never for a second. It just fit. That whole thing feels like a 2-hour movie.
Out of those,
Yeah.
out of those
Yeah.
5 episodes I've seen,
And that just comes down to good writing. I mean, that's
100%.
Yeah.
what it is. And it sticks in my head where Billy, like right after Billy gets like kind of possessed with that thing in the beginning, when he's in that like storeroom at the pool, and the mom comes up behind him, and it's like his vision, but all of a sudden he like turns around and slams her head up against the rack. I was like, what the hell is happening? And then you realize it's just him thinking of that. It's stuck in my head, and I'm just like, man, that's really good.
Yeah.
It was really good the way they played that off, and that actor is really good too. I like that guy.
There's a lot of controversy on David Harbour, who's
The sheriff.
sheriff. I can't remember his name now.
I love
Okay.
him. Sheriff.
I don't know.
Something.
A lot of people are coming out and saying like that he's toxic masculinity. And
Oh, really? Toxic.
from Barry. I did something.
Like from Barry, he's like, you've got too much toxic masculinity.
But I totally see where they're coming from, but you also got to understand that like this is set in the 80s.
And you're full of it too.
It's an 80s.
You, Chris Harford, have so much toxic masculinity.
A lot of people coming out hard against all the smoking. A lot of smoking in this movie.
Again,
It's,
it's before the ban.
Enough
guys.
that pushed Netflix to put a smoking policy in place for their future.
yeah.
Really?
They
I
had
did
enough
see that.
pushback
Yes.
from like Truth and other organizations like that.
No, it's just because.
It's set in the 80s, man.
Yeah, it's because it's set in the 80s. Like, get over it. It's a TV show.
Anyway, it's great.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous. I like David Harbour.
Oh, he's great. There's something on Netflix that just came out, and it's called like Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein.
Okay.
And I haven't started to watch it. I watched a little bit of it, and it's talking about his father.
Frankenstein's father?
No, David Harbour's father, David Harbour Jr. David Harbour, the one that's in Stranger Things, is the third.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this is all a joke or if it's true. I guess I haven't gotten far enough in the show. But David Harbour Jr. was also an actor, like back in the 70s or whatever.
Okay.
And he had like teleplay that apparently was really odd, and David Harbour went back and found like the footage in his mother's attic.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's a comedy or if it's true. I need to watch it because it seems interesting. That guy seems cool. Hellboy's out to rent. I haven't.
It's real?
read it.
Like, this is a real thing?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just a joke,
Okay.
but it seems real meta.
He's in it, talking
Yeah,
about his
that
own
does.
family.
He's
David
in
Harbour?
it, and then they're flashing back to this like 70s teleplay that supposedly found footage of his dad's this play he did on TV. But I don't know. This guy looks identical to him.
Oh,
That's his dad, and I don't know if it's him.
so
actually,
him playing his dad?
supposedly his dad, and it's all a joke. I don't know.
Oh,
Somebody will tell us. One of our fans.
yeah, somebody will. Okay.
One of our
Someone knows.
thousands of dedicated Snarf
Right.
followers.
I've gotten a lot of good feedback from the last few episodes.
That's good.
Yeah, they all seem to enjoy it because we're just enjoyable people.
I like the titles. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's all I read.
Pretty good, aren't they? We work really hard for
Snarf
long
talks
hours.
aggressive read plan. I was like, yes.
We work many hours trying to figure out those titles, and those many hours usually encompass about a 30-minute time frame Thursday mornings.
Yeah. The last many episodes I've been like MIA on, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
Big
all
time.
right.
I did go today. I went backdated. I put up some Instagram posts,
Oh yeah, you were flooding
yes,
it. It was
you were
really good.
hitting it up.
and I rewrote some of the descriptions a little bit. Nothing major, but
But the like the Snarf's polyamorous throuple,
Yeah.
the picture on that,
Yes.
absolutely perfect.
how do I find this?
I don't know.
money.
I don't know how you find it. I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. I don't know how to work the program, like the Canva stuff. Like I can't find the stuff you do, but it was absolutely perfect.
You told me the other day. You said our next episode, which if you're listening, that'll be last week's episode.
Right.
You say it's solid gold.
I loved it last night. I was listening to it last night. It's really good. That's another one.
I'm excited to listen to it because I remember recording it at the time at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Thinking, I'm like, I don't know. how good this is going to be.
Oh, it was really good because of the content that we had about, we did the 90s actors.
We cast the Avengers as 90s actors.
Yes. So we did that. Like, that was a really good part. And then right after that, we get into our top 10 Pixar movies.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Nice.
Okay. I remember the Pixar stuff being good. I thought we went on a little long on the 90s casting stuff.
No, I didn't listen to it 100% all the way through. I'm going to tomorrow on my drive, but I thought it was really good. It's really funny.
Sweet.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So is that what you're watching?
That's all I got. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I was watching. I watched Swamp Thing, and then
You already did what you're supposed to.
I think that's about it.
Swamp Thing.
From what I'm watching standpoint.
You're way behind.
I am.
Start Krypton.
You know why?
Start Krypton.
You know why I'm way behind?
Why?
Because I've been reading. So I've been reading a lot of stuff.
Ooh, what you're reading.
So I started, I was reading Jason Inman's book.
Super Soldiers.
Yes, I've been reading that. I like it.
Really?
I like it a lot. He's tying in a lot of comic book characters to like modern day, or like not necessarily modern day, but like a military, like if they'd be a good soldier, basically. Yeah. And he ties it into real time stuff. I like the way it's written. I like the way he's doing it. I'm not 100% through it yet. It's short, but I haven't put a ton of time to it. But what I have read, I've really enjoyed.
Well written.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of Geek History Lesson, his podcast, because he gives you the backstory of these characters, and he does a really thorough job of what the character is, what they've done, and how they pertain to like a modern day military soldier. To me, it's right up my alley.
Nice.
And I like it.
I did pre-order his new comic, Science.
Is that out?
No, I pre-ordered it.
But it's coming out. Like
on
they're producing
website.
it?
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Cool. So the other things I'm reading, like I said, a Swamp Thing from Brian K. Vaughan. I started that. There's 2 volumes, 20 issues. Started the first volume. Very, very good. The other one that I read, another Swamp Thing, but it's so I ended up buying 2 of the same book on accident on Comixology. So there was a Swamp Thing winter special that came out in 2018, but then they did a deluxe edition, which I didn't realize was basically the exact same stories with a few extra stories written in, and it was called Swamp Thing Roots of Terror, and it's the deluxe edition, which they just added stuff from Len Wein. Len Wein is the creator of Swamp Thing with Bernie Wrightson. He also created like Wolverine, Storm from X-Men.
A ton of people.
Len Wein's like a historic person.
Just passed away last year?
2017.
Yep.
Him and Bernie Wrightson passed away in the exact same year.
Wow.
And born the exact same year, died the exact same year.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. Huh. Huge people in the comic book world.
Bernie Wrightson, if you ever want to look at some amazing covers, like the first 10 Swamp Thing covers, I think.
Are all him.
From the 70s,
Those
I
are
guess.
the collectible ones, people.
And they're also very cinematic. They're very cool covers.
They're like movie posters.
Yeah, they really are.
But yeah, they both died the same year, and then Bernie Wrightson had still been drawing for DC in 2017 before he passed away. Anyway, Swamp Thing, the winter special is the one that I wanted to talk about that I read, and Tom King did the story. This book puts like 3 or 4 different standalone stories in the same book, just as it's kind of like as a what do you call it, like a homage to Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson. Basically, it's like it's for them. It's like in dedication to them. But Tom King wrote this story, and it's called. Let me look it up now. It's like the Talk of the Spirit is what it's called, I think. I gotta go back and look now. But the way this dude writes, like, I know he's written Batman, and we all like the Batman stuff a lot, but the way he wrote this story, he doesn't necessarily tailor it to a Swamp Thing book in the same way all the other Swamp Things have been written as this like monster guy, but it's based around like us as monsters. So you right away see it starts off with like this radio show of a football, like these football announcers talking about the local team, and the team was playing like the Gotham City Knights, and they were playing a football game together, and they talk about the quarterback having an issue during the game. In the second half, he like basically falls apart, and it's because he was like shocked by what was going on, and he felt like a monster was attacking him, is what they're talking about. And they say like, here's the interview with the quarterback, and this is what he says, and that's when the story picks up. And the first few images are just of a leaf falling down, the first few panels on the first 2 pages. A leaf is falling to the ground, and then winter basically just comes over, and it's all winter after that. And Swamp Thing is walking through this like winter wasteland basically, and he's saving this boy. It looks like an 8-year-old boy, and he's protecting him from this snow monster. You never once see a snow monster. Can I completely spoil the story for you, by the way? You still need to read it regardless. But so Swamp Thing's like carrying this boy with him, literally carrying him, but he has no contact with the green because it's a complete winter wasteland and there's nothing green around. It's all frozen tundra, basically. And he's trying to save this boy. So during this, him walking and carrying this boy, he's like wasting away. And it always says, like every page it says later. So it's like advancing the time more and more, and every time it's like this little boy riding on his back saying like, oh man, you just got us away from the snow monster, like you kicked him away and saved me, you just keep saving me. And he keeps saying like, you're not a monster, you are not a monster. Well, it keeps doing that throughout it, and then by the end of it, Swamp Thing is like withered away to basically nothing, laying on the ground, and he's like, we have to do something, I'm not strong enough to carry you anymore. And then he realized, like, he picks up this boy and he's like, I realize I'm not a monster, but you're the monster. He's like, you're the snow monster. I have to kill you. And the boy's like arguing with him, saying like, no, you can't kill me. Like, you've been saving me. You can't kill me. And he keeps saying like, it's like just tying into like who is the monster, right, and like who is the actual evil here. And he realizes the boy is the evil, and he ends up like breaking this kid's neck. He's holding him, and you just see like he's saying like, he's like, maybe I am a monster, but I know you're the monster. And he breaks the kid's neck, and then it's just them like holding each other on the ground, and the kid dies, but he like melts away, and then all the snow melts away, and then Swamp Thing melts, basically like just recedes into the ground, and then everything turns green. And then they go back to the football announcers saying like how crazy this story was that the quarterback was telling about a monster being, attacking him, and that's why he didn't play the game right. I'm not doing it any justice by explaining it that way. You have to read it and see the images.
That's a good story.
And the way it's written and drawn, it's my single favorite story I've read ever. It was the Eisner winner of last year.
Oh, really?
That one single story was the Eisner winner for comic book stories. It's incredible. Huh. It's absolutely
definitely
incredible.
Check that out. I probably have it somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. The art is amazing because it's exactly what I want Swamp Thing to look like.
Right.
He's like this big menacing guy. And I've got the images up in front of me, like of the story. And I'm going to take pictures of it and post it to our Snarf Talk page, a couple of the pages, because they're just incredible. But what he says, hang on, let me get a little closer. He says, that though I try so hard, I am like you, now always, the monster. We are the monster. And the boy at the same time says no as he breaks his neck. It's
wow.
It's wild. Huh. It's really crazy. It's really good. So I've read that, and that was amazing. And within that story, it was the last Len Wein story inside of this book that he wrote of Swamp Thing. I don't care for it myself. It's really cool that it's in there. There's literally no dialogue, no story. It's all picture.
Okay.
I just don't. The only reason I don't care for it is because I don't necessarily like the art style.
Gotcha.
It's very blocky and cartoony that I don't care for. Another one that I started reading and I ordered was, it's a physical book, was The Root of All Evil, Swamp Thing, The Root of All Evil. And that's a Grant Morrison, Mark Millar story.
Oh yeah, I've kind of read summaries on that. I've never read it.
And I started reading it.
It's from like the 90s, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is in the 90s. And you can definitely tell in the beginning of this book, it is all Grant Morrison in the beginning. I don't know when Mark Millar picks up because I haven't finished it yet. But in the beginning, there is so much drug talk, like incredible drugs. And Grant Morrison has historically talked a lot about drugs and like openly and talked about like his experimentation with drugs. And it is
he like takes drugs and writes, like takes acid.
And it's a direct comparison to that, to like his real life, because it talks about how Alec Holland, as a scientist, is like taking these drugs to experience things. And so it's like Alec Holland experiencing Swamp Thing through drugs at the moment. And they're like two separate beings. So Swamp Thing's still around, like wandering around in the swamp, but Alec Holland is separate because he like wakes up in a coma in a different place.
Yeah, I remember reading them summary on that where that's where they pull them two apart.
Yep. And I haven't got far enough into it to find out if they really are two separate people or if it's just another hallucination of his.
Right.
But there's so much drug talk, but really good art in that too. There's some wild splash pages of like visions and different things going on where it covers both of the pages. Like if you open it up to the whole book is just this like one vision with little block letters around. It's pretty cool how it's put together, but I'm on the fence on what it's going to be like.
Sweet.
But pretty cool. And then I caught up on, there's one more issue to come out. It's a 6-issue run of Spider-Man life story.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I need to catch up on that.
It's so good because it just follows him through his life each decade.
I'm waiting for the trade on that, which will be probably another year.
Yeah, probably. Out. And it does go by decades. So it's 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I finished 90s, and it's awesome because it's everything you want Spider-Man to be. You see Spider-Man the way you want to see Spider-Man in all of those decades. Like it follows all those tropes, but it also gives you the interpersonal story of what's actually happening in his life, like his legitimate life as Peter Parker while he's being Spider-Man. I think that disconnect's really cool.
That's cool.
So that's all I got. That's what I was reading. And I talked about the Super Soldiers book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been reading a lot.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. You've been reading. I've been wasting away my life on television programming.
Right. So this is not a shot against you, but that's the way I felt like I've been doing things, is just literally sitting in front of a TV, trying to watch things, trying to take in as much content. I was just like, you know what? Like I've got so many books on Comixology and in my house. I need to start reading them.
We need to start writing. That's what we need to do. Yeah, it's getting close to writing season.
I've reread that script that we've written, like the majority of the script we've written, about 15 times in the last 2 weeks.
No, this is getting into writing season. I need like one more week of like wrapping stuff up from this insane spring of death.
Yes, that's what
the winter didn't get you. The spring will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, anything you've been watching, Nate? Before we wrap up here, I don't know what we're on time.
I've caught up on Man in High Castle for the most part. I started watching Into the Badlands.
Oh, I love that show. I've only watched like the first couple of seasons.
Yeah, I started on the third season.
Are they on the third now?
Yeah, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah. I've heard the
graphic novel.
No, like the actual fighting and action of it. It's really good.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's really good. And I mean, I got into Man in the High Castle, and then I'm like, oh wait, I should just go hop over to Netflix here real quick and
so you
know about Netflix then. You know, like
some
that's
capacity.
a thing, and
Yeah.
you can watch a lot
I
of
have
really good
it,
shows
yeah.
and stuff. Cool.
You just don't have to watch
I mean, I just
YouTube videos of people
YouTube.
sharpening knives.
Bingo. Nailed it.
boom.
Nailed
Boom.
it. Like it's not. Nobody's.
I'm just.
Nobody's
well,
forcing
we
you to
were
do this.
talking earlier about.
Reality TV is a drug, man. Reality programming.
Oh well, I mean, if you're talking about network reality, yeah, it's terrible.
Even YouTube.
Oh no, I strictly weapons and history. That's like all I stick to.
What a
Very few
life.
things can go off on that.
You live in a very small box.
Hey,
You need to get out
I
of
did. Well, I told you about how the one video I watched about how the humans were the good guys, and
He did.
Yes.
This is a article that we need to read about the humans being good guys in Avatar.
yes,
It's a argument as to why humans were actually the
That's interesting.
good guys.
We'll have to talk about that on a future
I
episode.
don't feel like it's
not
possible.
It's not a terribly long video on YouTube either, but it's convincing. But I prefer the.
I think
actual
I would
movie.
like a once we get our book up and like running, I'd like a Nate to write like a 2-page deep dive into like
History?
into the history of the jetpack samurai weapons.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Ooh,
That'd
Like
be cool.
how about a 2-page of just them making his samurai sword,
Yes.
like
the forging,
The forging of
forging
the
it.
sword.
like the decades. of
Wait, should I
folding metal.
actually just forge? I have the time. I'm single.
Well,
Should I just
No,
forge a
I
sword?
want a poetically written 4 pages.
Oh
wow,
man,
you're
we're
just
getting bumped
increasing
up.
this.
Yeah.
I can already see the visuals. A poetically written 4 pages of just like the dedication of the craftsman forging the sword
that could be good.
or the jetpack.
That
one or
could
the
be
other.
good. Like as an epilogue.
Yeah, an epilogue.
Man, I'm not even that much of a weeb to do it either.
I don't even know what that
I don't know
means.
what that means.
Weeb?
What's a weeb?
no. Oh, it'd be a Western person.
Weeble wobbles fall or Weeble wobbles.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
That's what I was trying to get.
It's a Western person that idolizes Eastern traditions.
oh,
So it'd be like, a Western guy that like
like those kids that love like the Japanese
Anime
They make
type.
fun of it on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Tear and kill 'em.
yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And granted, I have watched a few animes in my time, but
Yeah, there's no
I don't
slight
go
on
that
I've watched
far
a lot
into
of.
it.
I felt bad on our animated movies list, even though we were doing superheroes, because there's a bunch of animated or like anime movies that I absolutely love, like Princess Mononoke. Love that movie.
You and Dude can talk about that stuff. I'm not a big anime guy.
All right, guys, I think we're at the end of our journey here.
We are at
together.
the end.
Might
Nate.
as well.
Me and Jerry are gonna go away on our mini vacations.
Yep.
Reconvene.
At a later date.
Yeah.
But
I'm just gonna
Nate,
go-
thanks for coming along.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go farm. You guys have fun on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay. Prevent plant. You don't have nothing to do.
I got to work a lot of ground.
For Snarf Talk this week, I've been Chris.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Nate.
See ya.